What's the damn deal? Three Kings Boxing in the house. It's your host, 2K of course. I'm chilling, man, lean back. I don't know if y'all can see this shirt. It says, if you got haters, you must be doing something right. And that's pretty much what we get over at 3kingsboxing.com, because we only been out 2 years and we up there at the top with the rest of the motherfuckers that's been around for like 10, 15, 20 goddamn years. What's good, Bo? I'm already on here all aggressive, man. How you doing today, sir? You on mute. You on mute, old man. There you go.
I be doing that on purpose.
You do it every podcast, man. You be forgetting you on mute. Look, now you fucked up. You on mute again.
I'm back off. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you good.
All right, man. I got it.
Look,
hey, we having technical difficulties over here.
You having technical. Go get your daughter to handle the goddamn mute button while you talk. How about that? You having technical difficulties, bro.
Yo, she ain't here today. She ain't here.
Word up.
Man, I'm doing good, as you guys can see. We here, man, long days, but man, regardless of it, we here. And like that shirt say, baby, look, man, I love haters. I ain't gonna even lie. Like, y'all motivate me, like, for real, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when niggas do that beta male shit and they sneak off and go to a group that I'm not in to talk shit. Oh, man, I love it. I love it.
Oh, yeah, bro.
I love it.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Who we got? Chris M. in the building. Dump truck trapping in the building. Virtuoso is in the building. My man, the Texan, is in the building with his cowboy boots on and every goddamn thing.
The cowboy boots, dog?
Oh, shit. I mean, his name the Texan. The shit go with it. I just figured.
Where yours at? You in Texas?
Hey, fuck you, nigga. I ain't got no cowboy boots. That was... Look, I set myself up for that shit, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Nigga got his light skin haircut and shit on and everything.
Hey,
What? Look at this.
You said my light skin haircut?
He got his light skin haircut, got the line and like the line ain't way back, but it's just enough for the forehead showing to show that motherfucking strongness and his Texas side and shit.
Yo, I'm gonna need my man Still Proving to come back, man. Chris M, are you light skinned, bro? I need your help, man.
Nigga, so light skinned, his fade and shit. I can still see I can still see the color of his head.
Word up. All right, man. A little bit of pre-show fuckery, man. I want to show y'all something. I want to direct y'all.
Oh, what? Oh Lord. Are you
Yeah, you already know. I want to direct y'all to the top of your screen. You know what I'm saying? Now, this was written by a popular media outlet a couple of days ago about Floyd Mayweather Jr. You see the highlighter, right?
Yes, I do.
You see the highlighter, bro?
Yes, I do, man.
Now, somebody tell me when the fuck Floyd Mayweather was ever an undisputed welterweight champion. Matter of fact, when the fuck was Floyd Mayweather ever an undisputed champion in any fucking weight class? This is a popular news media outlet, people. I won't say the name of who it is because we're not about outing niggas like that. We ain't gotta out motherfuckers for our popularity to rise. You see what I'm saying? But what I will tell you is this. Your favorite news outlet that you guys was looking at and shit before y'all came fucking with Three Kings, they putting shit out like this. You see what I'm saying? Three Kings, we don't put no bullshit out like this. I'm gonna tell y'all. The only Floyd that was ever an undisputed champion in boxing history was none other than Floyd Patterson. Twice. That's the only Floyd in boxing history that has ever been an undisputed champion. Okay? Furthermore, Floyd Mayweather has only fought for any of the other titles, 4 times in his career, bro? Zab Judah was the IBF. Miguel Cotto was the WBA, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Marcos Maidana was the WBA. And then Manny Pacquiao was the WBO.
BO. And I think wasn't that his first time ever fighting for the WBO title?
Yep, exactly. Okay. That was his first time. He only held that bitch for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying?
With IBF.
Yeah, the IBF too, after he beat Zab Judah, exactly. He only held it for like 20 minutes. I give him 20 minutes on that one. You know what I'm saying? Right, I give him 20 minutes on the IBF one.
Yeah. Right? They at least let him leave the building with that motherfucker.
Exactly. So, not any point in his fucking career, and then he never held any of those titles concurrently. I believe it was like the WBA and the WBC at 154, if I'm not mistaken. Because remember, Erislandy Lara was pissed off that he was holding the WBA 154-pound title, and Lara was the regular champion, right? Yeah. And he wouldn't fight Lara, so Lara was like, man, you got to do something, B. I'm the regular champion, you the super champion. Do something with the belt. He was holding them belts hostage. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, he was.
WBA and WBC. And he got the WBC from Canelo, right? So, yeah, he got. I know that's correct.
No, not from Canelo.
Yes, he did. He beat Canelo at 154. Remember, the catchweight was 152.
Yeah, okay, right. That's 154. You're absolutely right. Yes, he did.
So he got it. He got it there, and I think that's the only time he held them 2 titles concurrently. He's never held all 4 fucking titles concurrently.
I think the most he held was, I think he did hold 3, but like we said, the IBF took that belt off of him, though.
He was only the unified champion. That's it. He was never undisputed. Unified, you can hold 2 and 3 belts at one time. Undisputed is all 4 as of 2007. Before 2007, it was only 3. They didn't recognize the WBO yet. But after 2007, actually after February of 2007, the WBO was added. You had to hold all 4. Floyd Mayweather was never at one point in his career ever an undisputed champion.
Undisputed champion. Never.
Woo! That's what I tell y'all. Stick with 3 kings. We know our shit. Let's keep it.
We got a newcomer in the house.
I got him. I see him. Fan No Stand Boxing. What's good, fam? Salute, brothers. First time catching y'all. Happy to be here. Appreciate you, man. Hey, man, you gonna find out. Hey, there's a whole lot of education here, bro. We kick a hell of a lot of knowledge on all 17 divisions. We also kick knowledge on the women's divisions, but at the same time, we keep this shit entertaining. All right. Now look at that description. It says this channel is TVMA, so you already know. This is like Cinemax after 12 midnight, bro. You start seeing titties and ass. That's what this is.
And you don't got to get on an airplane for that.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, man. Let's jump right into it. As y'all already know, the motto is, if you got a problem with what I say, please address me as a man. I have no problem having a discussion with you. I won't even get aggressive. I'll just say, hey, I appreciate you talking to me, sir. Any other concerns you have? And then he'll say no as soon as he walks in. I'm like, man, fuck this nigga. Nah, I'm playing with y'all, man. If y'all got anything y'all don't like that I say, come holler at me, man. You know what I'm saying? Come holler at us. You know what I'm saying? We got no problems talking to you. If you see us at the fights, we will be in the building August 3rd. Adam Kalnaki, Chris Areola. We will be in the building. Come holler at the 3 Kings representative, man. The shit will get back to me if it isn't me. And, you know, we'll discuss it on the show. Word up. Also, be prepared for a call-in number. I want to hear what y'all got to say. I'm going to put a call-in number through Skype. And we're going to have a call-in number, right here on the show. So you guys can call in at some point in the show. I'll open up the lines. Y'all could call in, man. I want to hear what y'all got to say because I already know in the chat, man, niggas is knowledgeable. I see it every show. We got a lot of knowledgeable cats, man. You know, so I would like to hear what y'all got to say over the phones as well, man. So be prepared for that. All right? We jumping right in this bitch. And I'm going to do a little switcheroo, man. Because when I made this show, the bigger news didn't happen yet. And that is Canelo Alvarez getting stripped of his IBF title because he couldn't make a deal with former IBF title contender who lost to Daniel Jacobs, Sergey Derevyanchenko. Now, here's the deal. Y'all already know Daryl Peoples and the IBF don't fuck around, man. Now, you gotta really be on some bribery shit with the IBF. You know what I'm saying? There has to be an incentive for the IBF to come out and say, you know what? All right, man. We won't mandate this guy. We'll let you fight whoever you need to fight. Here's an exception. You really got to be on some shit for the IBF to do that for you. You know what I'm saying? When's the last time they did it, Bo? Was it fucking Sergey Limpinets and Julius Ndongo for Terence Crawford?
Yeah.
I believe that's the last.
Terence Crawford.
I believe that's the last time he did it. Like, I can't remember right off the top of my dome, but that's the last time I remember it being big news that the IBF was going to step off.
That was the last time. That was the last time.
Okay.
That was the last time because it was the backlash from everybody upset at Undisputed.
Right.
And that's okay. They said, okay. We'll let them fight, but the winner got to face Sergey Lipinets.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. So y'all know they don't fuck around, and even though it's Canelo, they still didn't fuck around. Listen, they didn't fuck around when it was Triple G. You see what I'm saying? Remember Triple G had that belt. Triple G was like, well, what about Jaime Munguia? HBO was like, we not sanctioning that bullshit. Las Vegas actually was like, we not sanctioning that bullshit. And then the IBF was like, who? You know what I'm saying? Then they said, all right. Valdez Martirosian. IBF was like, give me that fucking belt, man. Y'all niggas is play too much. give me the belt, man. Y'all niggas. Is it? Yeah. They ripped it right off his shoulder, Bo. Give me that shit, bro. Gave it to fucking Daniel Jacobs after he beat Derevyanchenko, of course. Right? So, Bo, how do you feel about this shit, man? Because what we've reported on Three Kings Boxing is that there's rumblings he's going to be seeking possibly a Demetrius Andrade belt. Now, I want to know your take on them stripping Canelo. But on top of that, what is your take on him finally looking at Demetrius Andrade after 7 years of being chased, man? 6 years of being chased. What do you think about this shit, man?
Well, this goes to something that you said, okay? In a previous show, you said, if he is the man of the sport of boxing, make him prove it, right? And the bottom line is, the IBF, like we said, shit, they did the shit to Floyd. Like, the IBF don't give a fuck.
Oh, fuck, dog.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck about them dollars. You know what I'm saying? They want the motherfucking Mandos done.
Yes,
you know? Or if you ain't doing the Mando, okay, well, like we said, you put in the exception. You had a chance to make a deal. Now, what I'm thinking is they tried to make a deal with Sergey Derevyanchenko and be like, okay, listen, let us fight this fight or whatever fight we want to fight, man. Then we'll get you next.
Exactly.
And Derevyanchenko like, no, man, fuck that. I want my time. Now, if that's the case, I'm not gonna get mad at Derevyanchenko and him standing their ground. I want my fucking title.
Right.
I can't get mad at that. I really can't. Okay. And for all y'all out there that's trying to say he should step aside, listen, man, Gennady Golovkin was stepping aside and we saw what happened. Canelo Alvarez was able to pass him up, right? Don't step aside, because here's the reality. You don't step aside, you get to fight for that belt, you'll get that belt, right? If Canelo stays at 160, you're in play because you're holding the belt that he lost. So there's a story there that they can make for you to fight, right? So what the IBF is doing, they're absolutely right. Hey, man, we gave you a rule. You know what the rule was. We even extended that, right? Then after we extended that, we said, all right, well, we're gonna take it off the chopping blocks because you're talking to him.
Right. So
we thinking you're gonna make out a deal. Okay, man, when you didn't make a deal or when there was nothing to come to, then you leave us with no choice here. So what do we have to do? You know who I am. I'm Canelo. Yeah, you Canelo? Yeah, you Canelo without this motherfucker. Shit.
Right.
Shit, you're no longer two belt Canelo. You one belt Canelo, motherfucker. And the reason why I say two belts because the WBC made him a franchise, right? All this really boils down to is something that goes back to what Bob Arum said is let Canelo do whatever it is he wants. And I'm believing this is the approach that De La Hoya and him is taking, like, fuck it. You know what, Canelo, you're going to lose at IBF, but it's cool. We can still make money on another fight. Them looking at Demetrius Andrade, That's DAZN saying, hey, man, we need our fucking money's worth.
Good point. Good
okay?
point. Good
I'm sorry, Canelo, but we need our money's worth, man. $30 million, that's Derevyanchenko not going to do it because, again, our thing is to make an impact in the American market. Derevyanchenko, as good as he is, he still does not even, which is, and this is the goal to show what being with DAZN has done for Andrade. He still is not popular as a motherfucker that was with a promotion company that I could beat with what's in my wallet.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Okay, Demetrius Andrade popularity from staying busy has risen. His stock went up. His stock is more than some fucking Derevyanchenko.
Right.
And DAZN is like, yo, man, you got to do something.
Right.
And that's why they look at that. That's the only reason why you look at Andrade. Okay, is because you got to do something, and it's an in-house fight. We know you're not gonna fight Charlo. You ain't got no reason to. Okay, but you got to look at Andrade. That's a motherfucking in-house fight, right? And that's a fight that's gonna be more because a lot of people feel the chances of you beating Andrade are not as high as the chance you beating Derevyanchenko. So we'll make money as far as the betting is concerned in Vegas.
Well, let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
September 14th is already off, right? Said injuries and all that shit caused him not to come back, and then all of a sudden he talking about coming back in October. So not injuries. I'm sorry, they couldn't find an opponent. That's why they took September 14th off. We perceive it to be injury and other things, right? Mm-hmm. Then they come back and say, well, October, right? Mm-hmm. Why not try to make the Golovkin fight? Now I already know the answer to this, and I'm sure, and I know you do too. But for the people out there listening and watching, why not try to make the Golovkin fight?
Dude, man, they're trying to milk, I believe, honestly speaking, they're trying to milk that for as long as they can, to the point where, hey, when you do finally fight Golovkin, it'll be double worth whatever amount of money it is right now. Right now, I just think Oscar and them just think there's nothing in the Golovkin fight. The Golovkin fight don't do nothing for us. We fought him twice already. Yeah. That fight don't do anything for us right now.
Well, I think it's more so Golovkin has not put in the work yet. Not the work, but he hasn't satisfied his contract yet. You got to understand, I can't remember how many deals fight it was. I think it was 3 fights for Golovkin. I can't exactly remember at this moment in time. But the last fight was supposed to be Canelo with the prospect of another fight after that, even after the trilogy, right? Now, that last option is just what it is, an option. They don't know exactly if they're going to have a 4th fight. But the 3rd fight was supposed to be the last fight of his contract. He only fought Steve Rhodes.
Yeah.
He needs another fight, then they can consider a Canelo fight. And that's why I was telling people they're not making the Golovkin fights as the 2nd fight in his contract because they're going to be asked out on the 3rd fight. You see what I'm saying? The way to increase the revenue, or at least to optimize the amount of money that they bring in off of a trilogy, is to make Golovkin look good for 2 fights, not just 1. You know what I'm saying?
And look good against a better, like looking good against Steve Rhodes does absolutely nothing.
Nah, all it did was say, well, he's back.
That's
it didn't
That's
say.
Really, you're right. That's all it did.
It didn't say we're ready to see him fight Canelo. No, it said, well, he's back. I mean, he knocked out a motherfucker nobody knows. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, think about it, man. There's not even a buzz for Canelo and Golovkin right now. Even after he beat Rhodes, even after Canelo beat Jacobs.
What they should have did, and this is what they were doing. Now Jesse Vargas is in the mix, right? They were looking at Jaime Munguia. They should have did that. I don't know. Listen, we're not in negotiation tables. We don't know what the fuck is going on in terms of the money and the purses and all that shit that they're trying to split down the middle in order to get, one person satisfied and another fighter satisfied at the same time. We don't know. But at the same time, it's logical for me to understand that if he defeats Jaime Munguia, right, given the DAZN banner that they had, the fighters that they got from 154 to 160, defeating Jaime Munguia would help Golovkin in terms of a trilogy with Canelo, would help his stock. He's always going to have that fan base. He's always going to have that set of motherfuckers out there saying, man, he really beat Canelo twice. He was robbed in the first fight. There's always going to be a set of motherfuckers that say that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, he still needs to help his stock. A stock goes down whenever you're inactive, no matter who the fuck you are. If you're an inactive fighter for a long period of time, stock eventually goes down. Why? Because boxing is a sport of what?
Have
bro.
you done lately?
What have you done
What
lately?
have you done lately?
Exactly. Doesn't matter who it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? Even Floyd Mayweather. Stock went down immediately after Pacquiao. Why? Because he fought Andre Berto on pay-per-view. Nobody wanted to see that. Floyd Mayweather killing the 1 million views and shit before that. But as soon as he announced Berto, 360.
Yep.
360K. Somewhere in that avenue. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So,
that was an I don't give a fuck fight. That was I don't give a fuck fight.
But
that was.
My point is the stock even lowered for Floyd Mayweather given the opponent he picked, after Manny Pacquiao. So it's definitely going to happen to a fucking Gennady Golovkin, who's nowhere near as popular as Floyd, right? No. So that's what I'm saying. He needs to fight somebody second before Canelo, and like you say, it has to be somebody respectable. Jaime Munguia is not a world beater. Nobody considers him that. Hell, he's actually kind of on the downfall. He looked bad against Takeshi Inoue. He looked extra bad against Dennis Hogan. You know what I'm saying? So he's actually on the downslide a little bit. But people will respect him as an opponent more than a fucking Steve Rose. You see what I'm saying?
Most definitely.
So that's what they need. That's why I don't think they're looking at Golovkin just yet. They need him to show his worth on DAZN.
Now, I think what we also got to consider is I think the next two people in line for that IBF belt in quarter numbers would be Derevyanchenko and GGG, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. That's it.
So Gennady Golovkin could wind up fighting Derevyanchenko, and if Golovkin get that belt, now you got some intrigue. So, I mean, listen, this could be a plan to make that fight worth something again. It could be. It could all be a plan. They could be playing some serious chess. I just don't see it because I just don't see you letting yourself get stripped of your belt. Like, you know what I'm saying? Me personally, I wouldn't go along with no shit like that. But it's funny how they're looking at Demetrius Andrade, and that's the guy they told Golovkin, no, you need to beat Demetrius Andrade. Like, remember, they were trying to get Golovkin to take care of
They trying to pass that nigga off to Golovkin. You know what I'm saying?
Them niggas was like, hit this. Golovkin like, no, I'm not hitting that.
That shit is way too strong, bro.
It's too strong.
You trying to get me killed. Niggas, his name do sound like some weed, don't it? Hey, man, shit, nigga. Hey, man, what'd you get this time? Hey, bro, shit, nigga, went out there, got that Demetrius Andrade, nigga.
Hell yeah, I got that DeAndre. Yeah, I got that DeAndre.
I got that DeAndre, nigga. Word? Hey, nigga, that shit put you on your ass right there, that DeAndre. Yeah, he didn't want no parts of that, man. So
no, I'm curious, though. I know that looking at Andrade, I'm gonna keep my eye on that because I don't. Ooh.
Where does he turn? Jaime Munguia is always an option, right? If
DAZN
and Golden Boy and Matchroom, they come together. Golden Boy be like, hey man, I don't want Jesse Vargas fucking with our money. Get him at the fuck out. I mean, Jaime Munguia beats Jesse Vargas in my opinion. Jesse Vargas struggled against Thomas Delorme, and he struggled against an old ass fucking Humberto Soto. You know what I'm saying?
Dog.
He fucking around getting knocked out against Jaime Munguia, right?
Jaime Munguia is a big 154 too, man.
Exactly. I mean, he's already talking about going to 160 after the Dennis Hogan fight. So, yeah, Jesse Vargas loses to Jaime Munguia, but it's a fight that gets in the way. I mean, they can have Canelo fighting that guy. They can have fucking Andrade fighting him. They could have Triple G fighting him. Take Andrade off because he's Matchroom, but, Golovkin, the only reason why they let Golovkin fight him is, like I said, to heighten the intrigue for a trilogy with Canelo. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I wouldn't let Jesse Vargas fuck with my money, though.
No.
So if Canelo he's not fighting Derevyanchenko, right? I think the next step for me personally is Jaime Munguia. Jaime Munguia. I mean, hey, it's Canelo. Canelo fuck around fight John Ryder next. You know what I'm saying? John Ryder is the fucking mandatory in the WBA, bro. That motherfucker fuck around fight at 168. He fuck around fight John Ryder. He'll go defend his WBA regular title, and then that gives time for them to smooth out the situation under the DAZN banner. You see what I'm saying? So he fuck around, do that, and get DAZN time to smooth the situation out by next May. I could see that.
I could too, but you know what? This goes back to what I said. I told you before. I said, man, I really feel like, and I could be wrong, they should have reached over to Bob and said, "Let Bob, we want to fight Gilberto Ramirez, Mexico versus Mexico fight." I think that fight would have been big on the money side there, man.
The thing is, Gilberto Ramirez, I like that fight. I like that fight a lot. But Gilberto Ramirez don't know where the fuck he want to be at.
No, he don't.
168, 175. Where are you going, nigga?
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that one. He don't know.
That's the problem with Gilberto Ramirez. Let me go to the chat real quick, man. Let's see what everybody talking about, man. Hey, some of my man Lawrence Williams, man. That nigga no joke, bro. Lawrence, hey, man, I want you in the pit, Lawrence. Lawrence knows his shit, bro. Talking about the IBF, he said, I can't find the comment, but I remember what he said. He said that
they had to pay for their transgressions in the late 90s?
No. He said Arum couldn't pay off the IBF like he did George Foreman versus Alex Scholes. And I think the fight was, 1995 or something like that, Bo?
Yeah.
The fight was in 95. Now, who was the mandatory where they had to pay off the IBF? Who was the mandatory?
I forget who the mandatory was.
Yeah, I can't remember that, bro. Y'all some old niggas. Y'all. In 1995, I was in the 5th grade. 5th, 6th grade. You know what I'm saying? I remember the fight. 97, Chris M? Are you sure? I think that was 95, brother. Because I remember where I was living at the time. Look it up on BoxRec. I think that was 1995 when he fought Axel Scholes.
I remember that fight, too.
Yeah. I think it was 95, bro. But, yeah, I was a little nigga at the time. You know what I'm saying? I was in 5th or 6th grade. I remember watching that fight. Corey Cunningham said, was it Michael Moore? He had already beaten Michael Moore.
No, yeah, I think he had already beat Michael Moore, yeah.
Yeah, he had already beaten Michael Moore. My man Lord Zoe in the building said, I'm checking in from Haiti on vacay. So you know I fucks with the 3KB. Of course, family. Word up. Corey said, I know he sued the IBF.
Oh, in Haiti.
Yeah. He in Haiti, man. He out there. Hey, he out there.
In Port-au-Prince?
Hey, he out there with the females that they looking for 2K right now, bro. Look, see? Oh, shit, Chris M. Say you sorry, Chris M. It was 95.
Foreman was stripped of not fighting Tony Tucker.
Tony Tucker. That's what it was. Okay. No doubt. Tony Tucker was no problem. Or no joke either, man.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, Tyson didn't like that Tony Tucker jab.
No, he did.
He didn't like that Tony Tucker jab, man.
Nah, he sure in the fuck didn't.
Word up. All right, man. Let's move on to the next one. But before I do, I just want to say, real quick, in closing, I'm happy the IBF did what they did. Because it's exactly what you said that I said on the last podcast. Canelo is the king. No doubt about it. This motherfucker generates the most revenue in the sport. He can go around saying whoever, he just pick a name out of a fucking bucket. That person will stop his life to get in the ring with Canelo. He could be in the middle of having a life-changing event outside the ring. And if he gets a call from Canelo, that life-changing event gets postponed. You know what I'm saying? It gets postponed, bruh. He's got motherfuckers from 154 all the way up to 175 wanting to fight him. Okay?
Yes.
So Canelo's the king. But here's the deal. You have to make the king work for his crown. Now that you have it, you got to work to maintain that bitch. And that's what the IBF is doing. So I salute them for this fucking move, dog. Word up. Exactly. All right, Bo, what you got for me next, dog?
All right, man. Coming up next, G. I don't know if they ready for this, man.
They ready.
I don't know if they ready.
They ready. They gonna be ready.
Terence Crawford. Mm-hmm. He decided, you know what, man, I'm going to talk to my fans. I'm going to see what's on their mind, right? Goes to Twitter, talking to the people and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they ask him stuff like, you know, Terence, what kind of lotion do you use to keep your skin so dark? Stupid shit like
what
that.
What kind of books do you like to read, Terence?
Yeah, right.
Did you like Moby Dick? I loved it.
Right, you know, they asked him all, like Terence, do you use Crest whitening teeth for your teeth? You know, they asked him all kind of shit. Do you use Visine, Terence? So they, you know, what kind of wave cap do you wear? All kind of bullshit. And then finally, somebody said, yo, man, do you think Earl Spence is ducking you? Nope.
Nope. And
Nope.
I'm going to add to that.
Yeah,
Terence
but
Crawford,
he said.
Terence Crawford's also saying he's going to 154. Or he might go to
Right.
154.
He said he might have to go to 154. He said, nope. See, this is important. And I said this before, and me and Prodigy had these conversations. I said, man, look at how these dudes talk. Terence Crawford was never a shy dude when he was talking to you. When he was talking to you, he let you know he was talking to you. When he was talking about you, he let you know he was talking about you. When it came to Errol Spence, he never publicly came out and outed Spence. He was always say the promoters or the networks because he knew. Terence knew. He knew. Hey, man, I've talked to this dude. I know this dude want to fight. But I also know that we being prepped to have a big fight. See?
Yep.
And at the end of the day, hell, I wouldn't be surprised if Terence even know how his promoter, who he remembers his promoter saying that Spence versus Crawford is a fight you got to let build. That's like Leonard versus Hagler. It's a super fight. You got to let that build. Even his promoter said that. Yep. So Terence coming out saying, because trust me, if Terence felt Earl was the one ducking him, he would not say, he immediately, nope. Like the tweet came in 11:53, 11:54. Nope. It's the tweet 11:53.10 seconds. Nope. Exactly. Immediately he responds because he knows. He knows that, and it's also an omission without admitting that. Listen, man, I'm just not in the same position with the options that he has.
Right.
And that's the thing. Talk to y'all about. Terence, listen. Earl Spence is about to fight Sean Porter. Y'all can't tell me that that's a bad fight because Sean Porter, listen, Earl ain't finna just get in there and run over. Like, have you ever seen anybody just run the fuck over Sean Porter? No.
Nope.
You ever seen anybody have an easy Sean Porter fight? No.
Nope.
So he ain't finna just run over Sean Porter. And then if he decides to go for Manny Pacquiao, and I'm gonna say this right now for everybody listening, if Earl Spence decides to fight Manny Pacquiao, I don't want to hear y'all say shit to me about Earl fighting old man because when Pacquiao beat Thurman, y'all was telling me how that motherfucker's back. Okay?
Right.
How the elite Pacquiao is back. Y'all was saying all that shit. And when Earl beat if Earl beat motherfucking Manny Pacquiao, don't talk to me shit about no old man because, hey, Keith Thurman didn't beat the motherfucker.
Nope.
Okay? And again, y'all was talking about how the nigga wasn't an old man. The nigga wasn't done. Y'all was talking about that shit. Yep. Okay? Yep. So if he decide to look over at Manny Pacquiao and gobble up the 3 belts, then look to fight Terence Crawford late 2020, then shit, it is what it the fuck is.
Yep.
So I just like the fact that Terence said that because that's acknowledgement that I believe these dudes have talked and they have an understanding and they know what's going on.
Mama Denise Wards is in the building. She said Bud's ceiling is 147. I agree with that. Bud started at 135. I think he can go to 154. But the problem is the guys at 154 are pretty big. You know what I'm saying? Jared Hurd. You know what I'm saying? J-Rock could fight at 160 if he wanted to. Erislandy Lara is a small 154. You know what I'm saying? Jaime Munguia is a big-ass 154. The guys up there that matter are pretty big. Tony Harrison could possibly go to 160 if he wanted to. So,
yeah, but then too, a lot of those guys not just big, they're extremely skillful at 154 too.
Exactly.
So on top of being big, like Tony Harrison is like I could see Tony Harrison giving Bud problems. I could see Julian J-Rock just because of the athleticism and the skill giving Crawford some problems. Jaime Munguia, I don't think he gives him that much of a big problem.
Yeah, like my Law Zoe said, Charlo exactly, right?
Yeah,
but here's the deal.
I think he beats Erislandy Lara.
But here's the deal. It's not even about how big they are. PBC has 154 locked down too.
I knew you was gonna say that. I was waiting on it.
That's what it's really about, Bo. PBC got 154 locked down too. So what makes you think that the same shit that's happening to you at 147 not gonna happen to you at 154?
The only thing he can do is go and grab the WBO belt because he's a former champion. That's it.
Listen. He could do what he did from 140 to 147, going from 147 to 154. What was that? He was the undisputed champion at 140, so obviously had the WBO belt. He went to 147. When he dropped the WBO, instantly became the next guy to be able to fight the WBO champion at 147. That was Jeff Horn, right? which is the same thing Alexander Usyk's trying to do at heavyweight, by the way, right? Going to 154, if he ever decided, he could drop the WBO belt at 147, move to 154, fight the weakest link, and Jaime Munguia. There's that name again. But Golden Boy wouldn't make that fight.
Well, if Jaime Munguia go to 160 and drops that belt, he'll do what Billy Joe Saunders did.
Yeah, fight She-Fat, whatever fuck, nigga. Fight some nigga named She-Fat.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What, She-Fat? Oh, shit, son. What's my contract?
Matter of fact, nigga, the contract was signed already. My man signed the contract with his vision, bro. He didn't even use a pen.
No shit.
Shit.
That motherfucker did like this when he heard the name and the contract was signed.
Exactly.
As soon as they put the contract out, his name is on here already.
Exactly. So there is something. There is something. That nigga Corey said Jaime Munguia is straight food burrito with queso. Hey nigga, what y'all know about burritos in Reno, nigga? Ain't no Mexican food in Reno.
That's fucked up.
Yo, but real talk. Real talk though, man. Golden Boy wouldn't make that fight. What would happen is Jaime Munguia would end up going to 160, drop the belt. Terence Crawford would be given another good situation and being able to fight for that WBO title just like he did against Jeff Horn. In this case, it would be vacant, and he would fight, probably the next guy that's in the rankings, right? I believe it's still Dennis Hogan, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think they moved him down because the fight was controversial. And I remember Dennis Hogan started a petition. He petitioned the WBO to rewatch that fight, which they did. They rewatched it, but they didn't rule in his favor. They said, we're not going to change the scorecards. You know what I'm saying? So we're not going to change the fight anyway, which they never really do whenever they rewatch shit anyway. But the fact that he got them to do it, that told everybody that, okay, at some point there was some controversy that the WBO actually acknowledged in the scorecard. So I think he's still the number one contender. So, he'd move up, fight another Australian and Dennis Hogan. You know what I'm saying? Bob Arum can easily go over to Australia, talk to Dennis Hogan, get him to sign a co-promotional deal where he promotes 2 of his fights like they did against Jeff Horn. They can do that shit easily because Australia is screaming for a big name promoter to come over there and take some of their fighters off their hands, right? Get them some money. So he'll definitely do that. Hogan would definitely sign the little 2-fight co-promotional deal. And then you got a vacant title fight against Terence Crawford that he loses. You know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford's the champion at 154. Now, this is all hypothetically speaking. But this is how I believe it would turn out if he decided to go that route. It would all be smoothly planned out. He wouldn't just wake up the next day and say, you know what? Gosh darn it. I just realized the fucking PBC's freezing me out. Going to 154. That wouldn't happen. You know what I'm saying?
My man Lawrence Williams. He's saying that Carlos Adams. Okay, my bad.
It would be completely planned out before he moved to 154 and went for the WBO title. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. What he said?
He's saying that, and I do remember he beat Pat Day, but he's saying Carlos Adams got the number 1 WBO spot, mandatory spot, from beating Pat Day. I didn't know that was in the WBO eliminated.
Okay, cool.
I remember when he beat Pat Day because remember we saw Pat Day beat the brakes off that kid.
Nah, he beat Pat Day. I saw the fight. It was he was on the undercard of the latest top rank fight. On ESPN headline. I can't remember what the fuck it is right now, but yeah, he was on the undercard of that. We put it on 3 Kings.
Yeah, so I didn't know that was for a WBO eliminated, which is weird because wasn't Carlos Adams ranked number 5 at that time?
I mean, they can do that anytime though. I mean, they could pretty much Comey Beltran. Thank you, Lawrence. They can pretty much name an eliminator for whoever the fuck they want to name. Typically, it's within the top 5. They wouldn't pick no nigga, down there number 9 or 10 and say, all right, you down there.
Yeah, but I don't remember Pat Day being in the top 5.
But they tried the same thing with what's his name? Yordenis Ugas and Omar Figueroa.
Yes, they did. You absolutely right. I forgot about
number 16 or some shit by the WBC.
Yeah, so, you did. And Ugas is like number 5. You're right. They sure did. They sure in the fuck did.
So, but typically, one of the opponents is going to be within the top 5. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They wouldn't pick 2 motherfuckers down there at number 11 and 12 and shit. Yeah, you 2 down there. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Carlos Adames, he's green. I think Terence Crawford could beat Adames, even though he's a big motherfucker. Adames kind of reminds me, in terms of how big he is for the division, he reminds me of a Sullivan Barrera at light heavyweight.
Yeah, he does.
Barrera could easily be a fucking cruiserweight. Adames could easily be a 160. And maybe even 168. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but, I mean, this is hypothetically speaking. It could play out this way. You know what I'm saying? If it did play out, it would be a planned event. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, even if he picked up the WBO title at 154, he'd still be in the same situation because the PBC runs the rest of 154 like they do at 147.
Yeah, you're right. They got it on lock.
They got it on lock. I guess the only thing that would be a little bit different is the ranking system. And I'm not looking at the WBO rankings right now, so I don't know who's in the top 15, you know what I'm saying, at 154. But the 154 WBO ranking system might be better than the 147 WBO ranking system. That's the only thing he might have in his favor if he does this, right? But I don't know if the 154 WBO ranking system is better than the 147. I don't know.
I don't know either because I think number 1 killed Brooks, some cat named Patrick Trexio.
147?
No, 154.
Well, I don't know, but I don't know. All I know is at 147, you're looking at fucking Egidijus Cavalioscus.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You know, that's your guy down there. The same nigga that drew with Ray Robinson. Now, ironically, Ray Robinson is the last man to defeat Terence Crawford, right? Back in the amateurs.
Cheers.
But Ray Robinson, as a professional, ain't been shit. You know what I'm saying? So, he did beat Josh Kelly. But that's besides the fucking point. You know what I'm saying? He ain't been shit. So, the rankings at 147 are slim outside of fucking with the PBC. Very slim. And I think it's the same thing at 154, bro. So, this solution that he has with trying to get around being frozen out at 147, it's not really a solution at all, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. Now, the situation where Errol Spence not ducking Errol Spence, here's the deal, man. Motherfuckers make me mad, bro.
Why?
Listen, Corey said Andrade. It's Alexander Vesputin. Get his name right. Ain't no Andre Vesputin. He the number 1 contender for the WBA, by the way. So he's going that route. But look. Terence Crawford came out and said himself, bro, Errol Spence is not ducking him.
Mm-hmm.
And motherfuckers still are out here in these streets. Saying Errol Spence is ducking him. Bro. I'm speechless. Hold on. Motherfuckers came on the post and said, wow, all dumb niggas had the same dumb voice, right? Wow. I'm just saying, Terence Crawford may have said that he's not ducking him, but you never know what Errol Spence is really doing. What? Why are you trying to figure something out that you can't figure out? You can't read Errol Spence's mind, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You're not even in Errol Spence's circle where you can even identify him ducking Terence Crawford. Like if you was in his circle and y'all had a conversation, you sitting in the truck, Errol Spence on the passenger side, y'all niggas is riding, listening to Nas and shit, and you like, hey, bro, let me holler at you for a second, man. Errol Spence like, what's up, man? You like, hey, bro, hey, you ducking Terence Crawford, my nigga? And when you say that, you stop the car, you turn, and you look at him. So you can look at his body language after you ask the question. You can look into his fucking eyes to see if the nigga's doing some twitching and blinking too much of this shit and doing too much of this moving and shit. You can look at his body language and be like, yeah, that nigga ducking him. But you ain't even privy to doing that. You know what I'm saying? So, how the fuck can you sit there and basically tell me, who reported on Terence Crawford basically saying, hey, I don't believe he's ducking me, that he's still ducking him? What is wrong with these people, Bo?
Well, it's called hate. And when you are emotionally invested in something, whether that's liking it or hating it, you can, even when facts are presented to you, you can't come out and say that's what it. Listen, man, the problem with having a facade, that's like a nigga that's tough, right? Or acting like he tough, right? He got to keep that facade. Yeah, nigga, yeah, I told this motherfucker I whoop this nigga ass. And then when the nigga show up, he like, what you say? You heard me.
Jamal Charlo. Oops.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. So you still gotta kind of keep up that facade. And then when the nigga, well, let's go outside. His nigga don't want to go outside. This nigga don't want us to go outside. Niggas, let me go. This nigga don't want to go. You gotta keep up. Yeah, you gotta keep up the facade. Yeah, you know what, man? I ain't finna go outside. I got jail time. I ain't finna go to jail for you, nigga. And they walk away from you.
Yeah. Well,
so you gotta keep up that facade, man. You can't look at it and say, all right, well, if that man said it, that's what it is. Because Terence, again, I'm gonna say this one more time. If you've been following Terence, you know how he talk. Terence would not bite his tongue if he thought that motherfucker was ducking him.
Right.
Okay, he wouldn't bite his tongue. If you listen to Terence talk when he said, did you get what you was looking for? When the motherfucker got in Jose Benavidez, as a matter of fact, when he told Regis pro-grade people, he said, all right, we'll tell him to come to 147 and I end that shit.
Yep.
That's how Terence talk. So when you ask him that, he go, nope. There it is.
Well, I mean, you just asked the source of who would benefit of your ideology, right? Your ideology is Errol Spence is ducking Terence Crawford. Well, shit, I asked the fucking source. Hey, Terence, do you think Errol Spence is... Well, I mean, I didn't, but they asked the source, do you think Errol Spence is ducking you? He said no. Well, they went and asked the source who would benefit from your ideology, and he doesn't want to benefit from it. So shut the fuck up. That's
yeah.
Plain and
because
simple.
Listen, like you said, he could have easily said, yeah, and been on about his business. You know, and like you said, and that would have fed into, if Terence Crawford had said, yeah, I believe Errol Spence is ducking me, oh my God, social media would have went fucking crazy. Would have went fucking crazy if he'd have said that. You know, he said no. So you would believe him if he said yeah, but you don't want to believe him if he said no.
And he had every intent. Let me say this. He would have been justified in saying that. And the reason why I'm saying that is not because I believe Errol Spence is ducking him. Not at all. Mm-hmm. The reason why I'm saying that is because PBC and their antics during the Pacquiao-Thurman pay-per-view, where they put up 4 champions and omitted the WBO champion Terence Crawford.
That was fucked up.
He could have easily said, yeah, nigga, PBC and Errol Spence fucking ducking me, nigga. You don't understand why fuck you ain't gonna recognize your WBO in this motherfucker. He could easily do that. You know what I'm saying? So, now when asked that question, he just said they're trying to avoid the fight. But he was talking about PBC. Now, one thing Terence Crawford has always maintained, and he maintained in that statement, is that the promoters are having trouble getting together to make this fight. Mm-hmm. He's always maintained that he wants it and Errol Spence wants it, but the promoters don't want it. The handlers.
Oh, Bob Arum even said that.
Right. Exactly. But you can't tell these. Somebody said, I think it was my man Corey, them beta male motherfuckers, man. You can't tell them nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I've attached myself to that man. Well, aren't you a man? Yes, I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, am I lying, Bo?
No, that's how they sound. Yes, but wait a minute.
Yeah, they be on that Bugs Bunny Daffy Duck shit, bro. You be like, rabbit season, duck season, rabbit season, duck season. Have Daffy saying duck season and shit. You know what I'm saying? Switch it up on them. They be like that. Yes. Well, wait, hold on. Wait a minute. I'm confused. You know?
Alpha, beta male, beta.
Yeah.
Beta.
Yeah. I'm telling you, bro. These motherfuckers are stupid, man. But, I mean, listen, man. At the end of the day, It's boxing. People are fans of fighters. It is what it is. No problem with that. But when you let that shit cloud your judgment, and then you out here in these streets,
in these goddamn streets,
arguing with motherfuckers with your emotions first, that is a losing battle every single fucking time. Especially when you fucking with an enthusiast. It is a losing battle. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, read that.
Yeah, that's Eric B has a very good point. That's because these fighters sign with promotions not knowing what their job is. Promoters work for you. You tell them to make the fight, not ask them. You're absolutely 100% right. But also you have to understand they buy into the promoters promising them to build their brand.
Right.
So they say, hey, man, we need to build your brand, right? And then they also buy into the whole doubling your money in one fight. Unfortunately, that has always been, like, remember when Tyson said that Don King said something about, you getting $5 million for 5 fights. And he said, why should I get $5 million for 5 fights when I can get all that in one? And he was like, did that set him up? Shit, Don King. And that unfortunately is the thing. That's why Floyd purposely would target Latinos, because he knew that doubled his fucking money. See? And that's why he took fights like that. So unfortunately, man, they buy into that. Okay, well, you made 5, hold off. Let's let it wait. Go back and forth for whatever we're going to do. Then when we make the fight, you'll get $15 million. You'll get close to that retirement money type fight. What motherfuckers need to learn is the Marcos Maidana way. All right?
Right.
Go through the gauntlet, win the belt. Nah, I no longer have to box, nigga.
Well, the thing is, with Marcos Maidana, he beat the right person. If he would have lost to Adrian Broner, he would have never got the Floyd Mayweather fight.
And I agree with that, too.
So he beat the right person. And that's
because Floyd could have just as easily fought Kell Brooks as he did Marcos Maidana.
Right. I mean, he could have fought any goddamn body. Floyd could have picked, like I said, he's another guy. Motherfuckers will stop their life to get a Floyd Mayweather fight. So, and that meant hell of a lot more than Canelo. So you can understand how, I mean, niggas was in the middle of getting some pussy, and in between strokes, nigga would pull out immediately. What? Hold on.
I didn't read myself. I didn't. No. I didn't come yet. I'm still strong.
Nah, nigga, they wouldn't give a fuck about coming. They done, bruh. The baddest bitch they've ever seen in their life. Done. Floyd Mayweather just called, honey, I gotta stop. You know what I'm saying? So that's
be like my man was. Be like, look here, baby. I went out to get some dinner, but Daddy's not coming home. I got a Floyd Mayweather fight.
Harlem Nights, yup. Harlem Nights. Tell him, Daddy's not coming home.
Right. I gotta go to camp.
Hell yeah. I'm telling you, man, but it is what it is, man. At the end of the day, we'll see what happens, but I really don't see nothing changing for him at 154.
Me neither, man.
All right, man. We're going to move on to the next one. Now I'm pissed off. Hit that like button. Y'all already know what it is, man. Y'all ain't going to get no entertainment like this. Shout out to the one that gave us the dislike. Nowhere. Oh, man, I don't give a fuck about the beta male, bro. The beta male came in here and did a beta male thing, but doesn't understand he's helping promote the video. He's a fucking idiot, bro. You know what I'm saying? Stupid, bro. That's what beta males do. They do stupid shit all day long because they lead with their emotions. I fucking hate these guys. Dislike? Well, thank you. You just promoted the video, stupid. Fucking dumb, bro.
A dislike actually promotes the video more than the likes.
Fucking dumb, bro. But anyway, I'm pissed off, though, bro. Real talk.
What's going on, fam? Talk to me.
This nigga Tevin Farmer basically admitted that he's not looking to fight Tank Davis. He admitted it. He said, and I quote, "We are gunning for the Jojo Diaz fight. If he doesn't take another fight, that's the fight we're gunning for." He said, "I don't believe a unification happens next. If it does, it would surprise me." Huh? Hold on. You're supposed to say, "I'm gunning for a unification next. If that doesn't happen, then we'll try to go for the Jojo Diaz fight." Now, I wouldn't mind him saying, "I'm gunning for the unification fight, but I don't think that's going to happen. So we'll try to get Jojo Diaz." I wouldn't mind him saying it like that, bro. But this motherfucker flipped it around and basically said, "Nigga, we looking for Jojo Diaz. We ain't even looking for the unification because we don't think it'll happen." Bro, they need PR people. They need PR people, dog. So now, a situation where a lot of motherfuckers was looking at Tank like Tank don't want this fight. Well, Tevin just fucking incriminated himself now. He just incriminated himself, bro. He just basically said, this is what he said, 2K translated. Hey, y'all, word up. Hey, man, listen up. I got an announcement. Everybody out there saying Tank don't want to fight me, that ain't true. I don't want to fight Tank. That's what he said. So he incriminated himself. He took the fucking attention off of Tank. All the scrutiny. Some people have antipathy for you dumb niggas. Hard dislike. Extreme dislike for Tank. That's what antipathy means. Some people have antipathy for Tank, right? But now that this shit came out, they looking at Tevin like, oh, well you the nigga then. Because Tank sure as hell didn't say no shit like, I'm gunning for Yuriorkis Gamboa. I don't see a unification happening anytime soon. He didn't say that.
Yeah,
even though
he didn't give him enough time to say it.
Look, right. Even though all this shit with Floyd saying what he said in the past about we looking for the path of least resistance for the most money, it doesn't matter. What did Tank say after he beat Ricardo Nunez and the two called each other out? What did he say? Well, he sure as hell didn't say I'm gunning for Yuriorkis Gamboa instead. What do you think, bro? Jesus.
Not only do you need PR people, I could even get you not wanting PR people. But there should be somebody.
Hold on, bro. Hold that thought. I'm sorry. Hold that thought, brother.
No problem.
Barker Rader said that's not what he said after his fight last weekend. This was in an interview 2 days after his fight, fam. 3 days after his fight, fam. So he basically contradicted in a recent interview that we reported on Three Kings. Go to Three Kings Boxing, Barker Rader. We got it all in there. He contradicts what he said after the fight 3 days later. That's the problem. So we don't go back to what he said previously. No. He had a change of heart.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Bo.
Well, all of these guys need somebody in their camp that they show this. They say, hey, man, is it okay if I tweet this? No.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You need someone that you show this to. Even if you don't think that a unification fight won't take place, what you have to understand what Tevin has done is he has effectively let Tank Davis off the hook. Tank can come out and say, yeah, Tevin don't want to fight me. He too busy looking at fucking JoJo Diaz. So shit, fuck it. I guess I'll fight Yuriorkis Gamboa right now. Or I'll see if Jamel Herring want to fight. I don't know. Shit, this motherfucker done fucked up my game plan. That Tank could actually make it look like this. He wanted that fight. They was about to make the fight. But this motherfucker said this shit right here. And you've effectively left a dude that you had. Like, you had Tank on the hook. He was dangling. You had him on the hook. You've effectively let him off the hook by saying what he said, which is, we're targeting the JoJo Diaz fight because we don't think in unification. So basically what you're telling everybody, we're not even going to pursue a unification matchup because we don't think it's going to happen. So fuck even trying to pursue it to see what's going up. Especially after Leonard Ellaby, you know, especially after he just was on TV. I mean, he was on camera saying, you know, no, Tank really wants that fight. You know what? And we wouldn't mind making that fight. Mm-hmm. Right then, he should be, okay, let's go. I got you. Mm-hmm. I got you. You on the hook. Y'all said he wanted, y'all want to make it. Let's go. Let's make the fight. Nope. He said, man, I don't believe that. Fuck that. I don't believe, fuck it. I'm targeting JoJo Diaz. Mind you, JoJo Diaz that you claim that you won't give a fucking payday to. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Tank is doing some serious backtracking. But at the end of the day, you just let, I mean, Tevin is doing some serious backtracking, but at the end of the day, you just let Tank off the hook. Yep. And Tank gonna play, trust me, they gonna play that shit up. They gonna play that up. And by you letting him off the hook, you just bought this motherfucker some time.
Dump truck trapping, you ain't shit, dog.
Oh, that's fucked up.
You ain't shit, bro. Hey, man. Listen, dump truck trapping. Don't get mad at Tevin because he kept one eye on JoJo Diaz. That motherfucker kept one eye on JoJo the whole time. Over here, he was like, yeah, I see Tank, but this motherfucker was looking at JoJo. Yo, that's fucked up, man. I got something, though. I got something for him, man. I got something. He ready. You know I'm ready. He ain't ready. He ain't ready.
That
Get
nigga,
the fuck out of here.
Hey, that nigga did what my man did Friday. Who wants some? Who wants some of Tevo? You want some, JoJo? That's all I see is you. You want some, JoJo?
Oh, man, that's fucked up, man. That's fucked up.
He went in there. You want some, JoJo? You want some? Tank is over there. No, just JoJo only here. You want?
Oh, man. Well, the ball's in Tank's corner once again, man. Just put the fucking attention all over himself, man. Whatever, man. But what you got next, bro?
All right, man. So, WBC heavyweight champion Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wiles. Damn.
Bronze Bomber, nigga. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm dehydrated. I ain't got no water up here today. Fucking dehydrated. Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder, man. He says, listen, man, I'll fight Anthony Joshua whether he win. I know, right? He said, damn, boy, what the fuck?
Oh, shit.
Hey, now y'all know why I do boxing. I can't be on TV doing this type of shit.
Oh, man.
But Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder, is saying, hey, man, I would still fight Anthony Joshua, win or lose. The reality is this. Win or lose, whether Anthony Joshua beats Ruiz in a rematch or whether he loses to Ruiz in a rematch, that would still be a big money fight because it's a rivalry fight. And you can still have that fight in the UK, which where the money would be. It would. I don't think it would be over here anymore if he loses the second time to Andy Ruiz, right? I really don't think so. I think the money would come from them fighting if they fought in the UK. So that would still be a big money fight for Deontay Wilder over in the UK. And it's also, for me, I would, whether he wins or lose, I still want to see him fight Anthony Joshua because just because Joshua loses to Ruiz don't mean that Deontay Wilder beats him. See, people got this triangle theory thing, or like if you know boxing, fighters have lost to lesser fighters and have gone on to beat tougher fighters, right? Vernon Forrest has beat Shane Mosley, but then lost to motherfucking Ricardo Mayorga twice. Okay, so you know we've seen this in boxing before. I would still want to see it because styles make fights, and Deontay was like Andy Ruiz had a style that was just difficult for Joshua. He's a counterpuncher. And I've said it before, Joshua has struggled with smaller fighters for whatever reason. Go watch Carlos Takam. Hell, go watch Povetkin. He had to back up off of Povetkin when Povetkin caught his ass, right? Yeah, right. And then Shane beat Mayorga twice, you know. So boxing, you know, you can't use the triangle theory when it comes to boxing, right? George Foreman beat Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier beat Ali, and then Ali beat Foreman. Ali beat Foreman.
Yep.
See, so you can't use triangle theories in boxing. Is what I'm trying to get at. Even though, yeah, I know Ali did beat Frazier twice, but y'all get what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, man, I still think that's a fight that I would like to see because it still is one of the young lions that was around during your time.
Yep. Okay.
Whether you fought him, whether he was a champion or he wasn't a champion, it's still a worthy fight. And I think Joshua, just because he loses to Andy Ruiz, would still be a fucking worthy opponent. Because I still would like to see if you can beat him. Hell, now I don't think he should fight him next. Like if he loses to Andy Ruiz in a rematch, I don't think Wilder should fight him next. Wilder should look to become undisputed.
Oh
He
yeah.
should definitely be like, listen, I'm gonna look to get that.
He shouldn't fight Tyson Fury.
Nope.
Fuck
He shouldn't even fight Tyson Fury. Fuck Fury. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck Fury. I'm gonna stick it to y'all, just like y'all stuck it to me, and I'm gonna go get undisputed. Right. But I definitely still would like to see the fight because I think it would still be an intriguing fight, and I think those of us who are boxing purists understand styles make fights, and just because he lost to Ruiz don't mean that he will lose to Deontay Wilder. Now, from a mental standpoint, I can see people arguing against that. From a mental standpoint, hey, Lawrence Williams, shut the fuck up, you knowledgeable motherfucker. Damn, you ain't part of the show.
Oh man, he know his shit, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
man.
I know. I like that shit, but you're right though. You're right. So yeah, and some can't argue that Norton beat Ali 3 times. And I'm one of them that would make that argument. But yeah, so I still, in my honest opinion, I think that would still be a worthy fight. But I think that if Joshua lost to Ruiz, he'd have to have 1 or 2 fights to regain himself. Don't fight him right out. He'd have to have 1 or 2 fights to regain himself for that fight to still be kind of worth something to us.
Yeah. I mean, listen, man, I didn't do really a poll, but I probably should have did a poll on it on Facebook, but I didn't. I got a lot of feedback from thousands of people, man. Motherfuckers are still giving me feedback now. We put this shit out, I don't even know when, man. It had to be last week. And the majority of people said, yeah, why not? Why wouldn't we want to see it? A lot of people were actually saying, hey, I want to see the fight even if Anthony Joshua loses the rematch. You know what I'm saying? And for me, only a couple people said that the value is gone, which is exactly what I believe. The value is gone, bro. Because the fight was initially going to be for undisputed. You see what I'm saying? It was 2 undefeated fighters for undisputed. Now that he's lost, he's got to get his belts back. Now, if he gets his belts back, it's back to where it was. The loss doesn't matter because he avenged it. You see what I'm saying? You avenge a loss, doesn't matter if you had it, right? He gets all 3 of his belts back, we can fight for undisputed again. The fight is back where it needs to be, and exactly what you said. Fuck fighting anybody else, and it needs to be Anthony Joshua. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Hell, if Ruiz wins, it needs to be Ruiz. But that's besides the point, right? But if he loses to Ruiz again, well, he has nothing to give. Not only does he have nothing to give, there's a guy that he can't defeat, right? Whereas Deontay Wilder officially drew with Tyson Fury, but we believe, a lot of people believe, including myself and Bo, that Deontay Wilder lost that fight. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So the intrigue is now with Tyson Fury. You see? More so than Anthony Joshua. And that fight's already on the docket, or at least it's planned for next year, right? So if he loses to Andy Ruiz in November, well, then it's definitely going to be Tyson Fury as the front runner. Nobody wants to. I mean, the fight against Joshua is no longer as valuable as it once was. Tyson Fury becomes more valuable now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So it's imperative for me personally that Anthony Joshua defeat Andy Ruiz. He's got to beat him in a rematch, and I think he does. But if he doesn't, me personally, I'm not too interested in watching Anthony Joshua fight Deontay Wilder. I'm actually like, yo, you might need to try to get your get back with Andy Ruiz a 3rd time if they give you the opportunity. If not, you really need to go back to the drawing board and work yourself back up. Just like any other fighter that takes an L, you know what I'm saying? Like Austin Trout, for example. He had to work himself back up after he lost to Canelo and Arislan De Lara, right? He had to work himself back up. Yeah, he had to work himself back up. And he over there, fighting, draws with Terrell Gasha and shit after losing, to Jared Hurd and Jamal Charlie. Right. He became like a guy who you fight in order to get your name, a nice name on your resume. He became that. Well, who's to say Anthony Joshua won't become that if he loses the rematch to Andy Ruiz? He's got to prove that he's not that. So he's got to work himself back up. You see? So, no, I don't think that fight should happen, even if he loses to Andy Ruiz the 2nd time. But if he beats him, oh, yeah, absolutely. It needs to happen next.
Let me ask you this: what if he loses to Ruiz, right?
Yep.
Then he takes one fight, but then the second fight he fights Tyson Fury and he beats Tyson Fury.
Yeah, automatically the intrigue's back.
Okay.
It's all about
So
what
you're saying it's about the opponent. If he loses to Ruiz, it's about that next opponent.
No, if he loses to Ruiz, I don't give a fuck what he does next until I see it.
Okay.
I'm already like, nope, done. Don't want to see it.
Okay.
Now, if he fights Tyson Fury and beats him, that's a fight that I don't think he could win, on top of the fact that he already lost twice to Ruiz. So that's double, negatives going against him, in which I believe he would lose to Tyson Fury. You see? So if he wins that fight, it would be a miracle win, in my opinion. So absolutely, I don't want to see him fight Deontay Wilder. But let's say if he fought Joseph Parker in a rematch and beat him, I don't give a fuck about that.
No, right. Dillian Whyte. I know what you're saying. He got to fight a top dude. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Somebody
he just got to work
himself. It would have to be Tyson Fury. Anybody else is like...
No. He just has to work himself back. It doesn't have to be a top dude. He just has to work himself back up, like Dillian Whyte did when he lost to Anthony Joshua. He would just have to work himself back. He doesn't have to go and fight fucking Hercules, nigga, in his next fight. No, he just needs to work himself up. That's it. So if you lose to Andy Ruiz twice, your next 5 fights, I need you fighting contenders, working yourself up, in order for me to be intrigued to see you fight Deontay Wilder again. He doesn't have to go in there and fight Tyson Fury right after that. No. Dillian Whyte didn't do that.
No, he didn't. But the thing with Joshua, I think if he
Pulev's a good one. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah, Pulev really is a good one, and that's what I was finna say. I think because of his popularity, I truly believe that like they mentioned in Pulev and maybe another top dude, Oscar Rivas or somebody. I think after 2 fights they'll be talking about him fighting for a title.
I mean, it depends on how he looks in those 2 fights. I think that Anthony Joshua, if he loses twice to Andy Ruiz, he might find himself in a fight with Joe Joyce or somebody of that nature. You know what I'm saying? I think that happens. He falls down that far. No, stay away from Usyk. No. 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 Hell to the nah. Stay away from Usyk.
I'm about to hell no.
No, because if you lose to Andy Ruiz a second time, the reason is going to be because of the fast hands and the combination punching and the counter punching. Usyk got all of that. Nope.
Yeah,
he's faster than Ruiz.
Usyk got that shit in spades.
Yeah. Nope. Stay away from him. But like I said, he'll drop far down to where he's fighting a Joe Joyce. You know what I'm saying? Fucking Bryant Jennings. He'll be fighting those guys. He won't jump right into an Oscar Rivas or nothing like that. I believe they'll give him Bryant Jennings or somebody like Bryant Jennings is turned into a guy that you defeat to kind of get your name back into relevancy. You know what I'm saying? They will do some shit like that for him, And I think that would be the right way to go if he loses to Andy Ruiz a second time. So, at the end of the day, he just needs to build himself back up. Dillian Whyte fought Lucas Brown, Robert Hell Anus, Derek Chisora twice, Joseph Parker, Oscar Rivas. He built himself back up. And that's essentially what you have to do. The only reason why he looked good in each progression. The only reason why he didn't have to build himself back up after the first loss is because he was the unified champion. So they're like, all right, nigga, here's your get out of jail free card. You know what I'm saying? You can pass go. You get right back to possibly getting your 3 titles back. You see what I'm saying? That's what they did for him. Now, if he fucks up this chance that he got, now he has to do what Dillian Whyte did. So that's just how I feel about it, though.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I see your point. I just think that for me, I just think that even if he loses, because I've seen this in boxing, I still would be intrigued to see that fight because he could fuck around and lose to Andy Ruiz and beat Deontay Wilder. But like I said, I don't think what you say.
I said that's true. That's a possibility.
Yeah. But I don't think that he should like if Wilder beats Ruiz, he shouldn't automatically look for Joshua. I agree with you. He should let Joshua work his way back up. That's why I say 1 or 2 fights, and depending on how he look, Pulev, like I said, maybe even Oscar Rivas, and if you look good against them too, then we can look at it again. But yeah, I mean, you have a valid point. I just don't think it's gonna take. Well, it depends on his mental makeup, and you are right. I don't think it would take him 5 fights, but it definitely would depend. Because let's say if he gets knocked out again by Andy Ruiz, oh yeah, oh hell yeah. No, I'm
Well,
I'm
that's
with you
only,
at that point.
that's the only way I see him losing. Andy Ruiz is not going to beat him on points.
Mm,
He's going to have to knock him out again.
okay.
How is it that Andy Ruiz would be able to beat Anthony Joshua on points? Anthony Joshua would have to be fighting the dumbest fucking fight for 12 rounds straight. I
Yeah.
mean, he's still got the height and a heavy reach advantage. He didn't utilize that after the third. I mean, was it the third round he got knocked down in the first time?
No, third round. Yep, he got knocked down twice in the third.
After the third round, he stopped utilizing his reach. He actually stopped it in the third round. That's how he got caught. But the first two rounds, when he dropped Andy Ruiz, I believe dropped Andy Ruiz in the third round too as well. I can't remember. Second round maybe. I don't remember.
No, he only dropped him in the third.
All right, so it was one of them rounds. I couldn't remember if one of the early rounds he dropped Andy Ruiz in. But the point is, he was utilizing his height and his reach. And then he stopped doing it after he dropped Andy Ruiz going for the knockout. He ended up getting caught, got dropped. Then he really abandoned the game plan because he panicked. You see what I'm saying? So if he just comes into the rematch and does what he did in the first two fucking rounds for 12 rounds, it's a win.
I agree.
You see?
I agree. But
That's
the
why
question is, I'm curious if Anthony, I'm really curious about his mental makeup, man. His mental makeup got me curious because I don't care what a fighter says. Once you get beat the way he got beat, that stays in your mind. And if Andy Ruiz clocks him one more time like that and drops him, he could revert back to that fight, that what happened to him.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. And that happens to the best of them. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
All right, man, I'm going to go on to the next one real quick. And we running through them this time, bro. That's why I like run through these hoes. So, let me ask you, Bo. I'm not going to answer this until after you give your answer. So, and the first question in the chat was Chris M. When we first started the podcast. He said, how long did they suspend Dillian Whyte, the WBC? I believe it's Virtuoso that says 6 months, right? Now, the answer is it's a provisional suspension, meaning it's temporary until investigation has ended on this whole UCAD failed drug test situation, right? Now, a lot of people were like, well, he passed the VADA test. Well, the VADA test never fucking mattered. We didn't even report on that because it didn't matter. Like, one of my staff members, I think it was Corey that said, hey, man, VADA, no, it was Michael. He was like, hey, man, this whole situation with VADA, et cetera, et cetera. I was like, I don't give a fuck about that. We already know he didn't fail the VADA test. Eddie Hearn already told us that. Why would we report on him not failing a VADA test when Eddie Hearn already spilled those beans days ago? We don't care about that. We care about the B sample. Where the fuck is that at? You know what I'm saying? I want to know what UCAD is saying about the B sample. Now, I said in the last podcast, it don't really matter because the B sample always coincides with the A sample. Always. I've yet to see an A sample test positive and then a B sample was like, no, he didn't. I think that's happened once or twice. I have a scenario in my head, but I can't remember the fighter. You know what I'm saying? But it's rare that the B sample is like, he didn't test positive. What are you guys talking about? It's not what happens. Usually the B sample comes back positive. But there's still a chance that the B sample will say negative. So that's the story I fucking care about. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's obviously the story that the WBC cares about because they didn't lift their ban, or at least their suspension, whenever this whole VADA news came out. He's still fucking suspended. Of course, the WBC has a contract with VADA, right? So they don't give a fuck about that either. They're like us. Where's the B sample? Until we get that B sample, he's suspended temporarily, indefinitely. Now, if he comes back negative, we'll lift the ban. But if it's positive, he will get the same kind of suspension we've been giving suspensions to everybody, which is most likely 6 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about this, though, Bo? Did the WBC do the right thing, even though UCAD and the BBBFC have nothing to do with VADA and the WBC? Did they jump the gun a little bit, or is this the right decision?
Okay, let's keep something in mind, right? This was for a WBC mandatory to fight the champion, correct?
Say that again?
This was a WBC mandatory fight to fight
sir.
the champion, correct?
Yep.
Okay. This was, I believe, also The interim belt was on
Yep.
the line in this
Interim.
too?
Yep.
Okay. And it was sanctioned by the WBC, correct?
Yeah. No. What's safe?
Okay, it was sanctioned by them. And UCOD normally does the drug testing in the UK. VADA don't have jurisdiction in the UK, correct?
That's a good question. I'm not sure if they have jurisdiction, but that's a very good question. I would assume not. But here's the deal. Eddie Hearn said they tested through VADA previous to the fight, and they turned up clean.
Okay. WBC, they 100% did the right thing. Here's why. There was a report of some type of irregulatory numbers in the urine, and it was reported to one party and one party only. And that party was reported to, went to a hearing. Again, mind you, this is only between these two entities. They went to a hearing. Then after the hearing, they decide, okay, we'll clear him to fight. According to UCOD, if a fighter objects to the A sample, that's the only time they test the B sample, if there's been an objection about the A sample. So my question I raise is, was there a clear-cut objection from Eddie Hearn's them about the A sample? Or was it something that they showed them at this hearing that made them feel the fight can continue? This is why I feel the WBC was right. Why? They was left completely out the fucking loop in a fight that they sanctioned for one of their motherfucking belts, for one of their goddamn mandatories. They was left completely out the motherfucking loop. For example, you go to your job, okay? You're the assistant manager. You have a manager, right? So you go to a coworker and tell your coworker to do something on behalf of the company, right? The coworker does some fucked up shit, come back, tells you. You and the coworker try to work this out to circumvent the problem, so the manager don't find out. But then the manager does find out later on. What he's supposed to do? Keep you on? No, right. motherfucker, you fucked up my trust. You fired. You fired because when you did it, you supposed to you didn't keep me in the fucking loop, and that's the problem that you have. WBC was not kept in the loop. On top of that, you didn't even tell the other opponent, so he can decide, well, do we want to continue with the fight or do we want to see what's going on? Yep. So it makes it look like, wait a minute, we've been waiting a long time for this opportunity. Let's do some hush-hush shit, keep it fucking quiet, and let's see what's going on here. Okay, now if it's nothing, then we're not going to say nothing. But if it's something, that's not that important, then we're going to keep it to ourselves. It's like when you sneak in the house from being outside, you hope mama don't find out.
Yeah, right. Right.
Then when mama find out, who told? Which one of you motherfuckers told? I'm going to beat your ass.
Exactly.
That's what we got here. The WBC, a fight they sanctioned for one of their goddamn belts for a fucking mandatory, was left out the loop. So if you leave them out the loop, regardless of that's beside the point. We were left out the fucking loop. When y'all was told, y'all didn't tell me, y'all didn't even tell the other goddamn opponent. So y'all left everybody out the goddamn loop. So it gives the appearance, because perception is reality, of some shady shit. So that's why I'm questioning, was there a verbal disagreement with the A sample? Because UCOD is supposed to test the B sample if you guys disagree with the A sample. But when you leave motherfuckers out the loop, we don't know what the fuck is going on. Hence why y'all saying, well, he was clear instead of saying he never failed.
Yep.
See?
Yep.
So I believe the WBC, this ain't the WBC fucking with him. This is y'all fucked up. Y'all fucked up. I'm serious, y'all fucked up. Listen, this is no different than Luis Ortiz. You didn't tell the motherfuckers that you was on medication. You fucked up. Played it. You fucked up, dog. You should have put that on paperwork. You should have told them motherfuckers. You didn't tell them. So yeah, I believe the WBC did the right thing because they were left completely out of the goddamn loop, and then you didn't tell the other fighter so he could be aware of what was going on, because he probably would be like, well, no, fuck that. This nigga feel some, hell no. Oh no, hell no.
Yeah,
I
he
ain't fighting.
probably would have. You're right. They took away his option to be able to say, I don't want to fight him now.
Exactly.
You're right.
It's no different than when Deontay Wilder was gonna fight Povetkin over in the fucking UK. I mean, over in Germany. Once he, I ain't fighting motherfucker out here. I ain't fighting this motherfucker out of here. Yeah, Russia. I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you, Russia. I ain't fighting motherfucker. I'm the fuck out of here. But man, Stavern, the same thing. Oh, fuck that, motherfucker. I'm the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Fighting this motherfucker. Yeah. So yeah, man, there was a violation of trust, and I believe that it was a violation per WBC rules of not advising us of what was happening. So I don't think they rushed the judgment. I actually agree with this decision right here, man.
My man Chris M said, Bo dropping gems. He always does, especially when he get mad.
Your chest all swole up there.
Oh, man. Julio Ortega said, why was he cleared is the real question. Is it a cover-up or what? Now, I'm getting to that. This is my next point. Eddie Hearn stated in the article that we published, while everybody else is publishing on that VADA bullshit, we're publishing what Eddie Hearn told, what's the guy's name? Kugan Cassius from IFL TV.
Oh, yeah.
He told him, he said, yo, Dillian Whyte took the test a month prior to us getting the results. Now, that shit is unheard of, B. So, here's the deal. While Julio Ortega saying is there a cover-up, my question is there some shady shit going on? Why would they not reveal anything until a month afterwards? Now, he's not saying there was any situation where they had problem testing anything. You know, the sample came up with an inconclusive test a couple of times, and they had to go back and give another sample. None of that right. Came out. He specifically said we gave one sample a month prior to getting the results. What the fuck, man? Would that be the reason why the UK is like, you know what? Behind the scenes, they're like, man, we had some problems testing. Don't worry about it. We'll deal with it later. What do you think about that shit, man?
No, that could very well be the problem. But my issue still is why, if that is the case, why are they saying he was cleared to fight instead of saying, yo, man, he never failed a test. He never took a PED. They're just saying I was cleared to fight. So even if that's an issue with UCOD, you guys still are not saying, hey, man, I never took a PED.
Right.
See what I'm saying? You just saying, hey, I was cleared to fight. So I think it's something there that nobody wants to speak on for whatever reason.
And that's the main thing, man. Nah, man. Nah, Corey, that was Kugan Cassius, man. We got to get the right people, man. Let me look at it real quick. I'm on Three Kings right now. I think it was, damn. Who wrote this? Bakari wrote it. Yeah, it was Kugan Cassius. The motherfucker from IFL TV. That's who it was, man. My man BFTB Boxing is in the building. Oh, yeah, man. That's what we do. Facts and more facts. Exactly. So, I don't know, man. I think there was some shady shit going on behind the scenes because that whole 1 month situation, man, it doesn't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying?
No,
but at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Just like Corey just said, Hearn nor White still won't say Peds were involved. That right there tells me that they might be guilty of something. Because I was over there arguing with motherfuckers on the Three Kings boxing page on Facebook, you know, motherfuckers is like, some dumb motherfucker came on. He can't say anything because it's breach of confidentiality. Because of the article we published about Dillian Whyte still being quiet on whether or not he took Peds. And he had that cryptic-ass Instagram post where he's like, you know, I can't say much on it, but this is rubbish. You know, UK niggas in that word, rubbish. You know what I'm saying? Three Kings boxing in the building. Cheetah Head was good. That's actually the writer of this article we're talking about. You know, he said this is rubbish. You know, listen, man. I said there's no breach of confidentiality to just come out and say, hey, I did not take any peds before I fought Oscar Rivas. Proclaiming your innocence is not a breach of confidentiality. But they're not even doing that. Eddie Hearn's not even doing that. Hell, when Jarrell Miller was bitching, moaning, complaining, and crying over the phone and shit, you know, back in the day, and I know some of you niggas in the chat did this shit. Back in the day when you was in middle school and your girl broke up with you, nigga, you on the phone with her for hours, crying and shit. Come on, Cynthia. You the only one for me.
Nigga, fuck you.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all niggas did that shit. 2K
I don't know what the fuck you talking about. I was always an alpha.
2K never did that, bro.
Never, ever. You
know what I'm saying? But that's what Jarrell Miller was doing. Nigga on the phone crying and shit. Come on, Eddie. Sound like that African bitch on Delirious on Eddie Murphy. Eddie. Come on, Eddie. I want half Eddie. That was Jarrell Miller ass, dog. But even though with him doing that, Eddie Hearn was like, I'm not backing this motherfucker. Shit, we followed the rules. You know what I'm saying? And shit, we followed the rules. The nigga was clear we fought. I'm not backing him. You know? So even Eddie Hearn is like, even though he's not backing him, he's still not saying, well, he didn't take anything. I think they both know what really happened. And I think they were blindsided with the UCAT actually coming out with the information. Yeah. That's what happened. That's my God. That's like the opinion that I have, you know, straight from the heart. They were everybody knew what was happening. They tried to pull the okie doke on Oscar Rivas. UCAT accidentally or indirectly or some shit happened behind the scenes. They got pissed off, came out with the information. Eddie Hearn and Dillian Whyte were blindsided.
Well, that's the check didn't clear.
Right. The check didn't clear. You fucking right. The check bounced.
Eddie, it has been 2 days. It's been gotta wait because if you cash the check, they'll coincide, they'll change. But Eddie, it's fucking been 2 days, Eddie. The fuck, Eddie? Listen, mate, calm down, mate. You have to wait a minute, mate, okay? All right? No, I gotta wait. I won't double. Mate, you're being unreasonable. Okay, mate, just calm down. Call my office tomorrow. Call your office. Fuck this motherfucker. 1-800-SNITCH.
Yeah, 1-800-SNITCH. Hey, you call 1-800-SNITCH, that nigga T.I. answer the phone.
No.
We stay with the jokes. Hit that like button, man. Y'all know what's good.
That nigga gonna whoop your ass when he see. He gonna try. He gonna try to.
I gonna say, hold on, that little ass nigga. That nigga the same size as one of my goddamn arms, nigga. Man. Look, my man Chris M. I don't give a fuck what I said, nigga.
You fuck what I said. I give you no motherfucker. You fuck what I said.
Oh shit. Word up. But yeah, no, I think they got blindsided. Like you said, probably some shit didn't work out. Check didn't clear, nigga. Like you said, something happened. And hey, they came out with it, bro. So now they're blindsided. Eddie Hearn he tried to play cleanup. He's still trying to play cleanup. He's still trying to play damage control. But at the end of the day, the people want to know what the fuck. Where's the B sample? And eventually they got to come out with it, man.
They got to do something. But I think the WBC suspending him was shed even more light on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It actually put pressure on him.
At one point, it was starting to die down a little bit until the WBC did what they did.
Very good point. It'll put pressure on them. It brings it. You're right. It brings it right back into the spotlight. You know what I'm saying? And now it puts pressure on them. Like, okay, you got to make a decision because now this motherfucker can't even be his mandatory position can't be honored because of this. So at the end of the day, the advice is like you tell your son, look, son, I know you stole one of my porno tapes, man.
Hold on, man. Time out. Is this some personal shit that happened to you, nigga?
No. But I know this happened to niggas, bro. I got stories for days, bro. Listen. Pops was like, I know you stole one of my porno tapes, bruh. Because when I went back to go watch it, it was at a different place from where I stopped it at, little nigga.
Right.
So this is what you could do. You could tell me what you did wrong, and you guys suffer the consequences. Take it like a man. Or you could not tell me and shit gonna be worse for you. What's it gonna be? That's pretty much what they telling Dillian Whyte right now, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up.
They telling him.
All right, man. What we got next, man? I'll go ahead and say it.
Go ahead.
Oscar Valdez. This the last one. Then I go into the chat, see what everybody's talking about, man. So, Oscar Valdez. We all know, you follow Three Kings Boxing. We reported on this shit before anybody else did. Shakur Stevenson was ordered by the WBO to be the mandatory for Oscar Valdez. He's the number one contender, rightfully so, right? We actually talked about this on the earlier episode of the podcast, but Oscar Valdez's manager immediately was like, hold up, nigga, hold up. Hey, hold up, WBO. We're not doing this. We're not fighting Shakur Stevenson. It's not happening. We're either A, going to get a unification, or B, we're moving up to 130. So, news now is, and this is old news. We were actually supposed to have this on the podcast last time, but we ran out of time, so I put it on this one. Now the situation is Oscar Valdez is talking about moving up to 130 to face Miguel Berchelt. Now, my question is this. Bo, is it better for him to stay at 126, try to get a Josh Warrington unification, because he's not going to get Gary Russell, and he's not going to get Leo Santa Cruz. Not going to happen.
No.
But Josh Warrington is with Frank Warren. Frank Warren does business with ESPN and Top Rank, and Oscar Valdez is with Top Rank. Therefore, that fight can be made rather simple. Should he stay at 126 and get the Josh Warrington fight, or should he test his mettle, drop his WBO title, go to 130, and challenge Miguel Berchelt? What do you think about that, man?
I think he should stay at 126 and go for unification. But here's the problem. I think what Bob wants him to do is he wants Shakur to get that belt. He wants him to drop it, move up. That way Shakur can grab that belt and they can make a super fight with Shakur Stevens and Josh Warrington. Mm-hmm. And I think he wants him to go to 130 where he feels he'll be better. Because mind you, Oscar Valdez has been having issues making weight. So if he tries to stay at 126 and go for Josh Warrington, he could very well lose. And then, you know, Josh Warrington, if he wants to fight Shakur Stevenson, could probably fight Shakur Stevenson, or he could continue to say, well, listen, man, I got other shit I want to do, right? So that would put them at a disadvantage. I think if I'm Bob Air, what I want to do is, if you're not going to stay, I need you to move up because I need this belt to be back on my guy because I got to start building this dude. And what Bob is going to do is, Bob is old school like me. That's the reason why when Jose Ramirez won that title, he was like, no, you're not going to fight Regis, but you're going to make a defense because unless you make a title defense, that's the only way everybody will know you as being a true champion because you made a defense of your belt, right? And he does that. Like, if you look at what he does it with his guy. Before he when they win belts, before he dumped their ass in heavy fights, you make a defense. You got to make a defense, motherfucker.
Yep, exactly.
I need you to be a legit champion. That's the only way I can sell this shit. You got to make a defense. So I think if I'm Oscar Valdez, the best thing I think he should do is Josh Warrington, right? But the problem with that is he has a higher chance of losing that fight, especially if he's struggling to make motherfucking weight. And then it's not a guarantee that that Shakur Stevenson is gonna get his chance to fight next. But then it also hurts you being able to make a fight of champion versus champion. It'll be champion versus challenger.
Yes, sir.
So
yep.
Right. So you have to move up. Now moving up for Berchelt, I actually like that fight for Valdez because although Berchelt, see, people listen, I'm a believer in styles make fights, okay? Francisco Vargas, from a stylistic standpoint, was always going to be bad when he fight. Yeah, say what now?
There's always going to be an issue with Francisco Vargas to fight Berchelt, right?
Yeah, that was always going to be a fucking issue with him. It really was. Okay, you're talking about a guy going into a gunfight against a dude with cannons. No,
Yeah, right.
That
Exactly.
was always going to be a fucking issue, right?
Yep.
Okay, not to mention the fact I think from a physical standpoint, his body never recovered from that gauntlet he went through. You talk about a gauntlet. Now that nigga went through a gauntlet.
That motherfucker had 2 Fight of the Year candidates back to back.
And that was his third fight.
You know
Okay.
what I'm saying?
And then I think Berchelt fought somebody after that too. And who did he fight after that?
After what, the Francisco Vargas first fight? Takashi Miura,
Yeah.
I believe.
Huh?
Takashi Miura.
Takashi Miura, okay.
I
And
believe that's who his next fight was, though.
Yeah, so whatever his next fight was, it wasn't like he was in some kind of danger. I think this Valdez fight would cause some issue for Berchelt. I think Valdez will have a better chance because he'll be better and stronger at 130. And I think that his ability to take punches, and some of the things that he was starting to slip off on at 126 will be better for him at 130 against a Berchelt. So that would be, I would actually like that fight. Now, me personally, I don't think he's gonna get Berchelt because you're a former WBO champion. But I don't think Bob's gonna want him to fight Jamel Herring either.
I mean, that's the route to go. He's the fucking WBO champion at 126.
I know, but I don't think Bob wants to ruin Jamel Harrington being the champion. He wants to have Valdez grab another belt and then do a unification later on.
I don't know about that because it's about marketability. The belt stays in house whether he defeats Jamel Herring or he doesn't, right? It stays in house because
you would have 2 guys holding the belt in your stable.
But Jamel Herring's not a marketable dude. Listen, this motherfucker. Did you know Jamel Herring went on Fox News? Did you know that?
Yeah.
All right. You know he.
And I heard it because I saw my motherfuckers talking about it.
Well, my point is not because he was on Fox News. I don't give a shit about that. The reason why I'm using that is because he went on Fox News. He went on ESPN. He basically did like this fucking tour after he defeated Masayuki Ito. And he still doesn't have a huge following on social media. Hell, nobody's really talking about him like that. Nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? He's not a market. I mean, I'm no disrespect to him. He deserves everything he has. You see what I'm saying? He worked his ass off. Hell, the motherfucker lost to Ladarius Miller, the guy that just fought this past weekend in a controversial fight with Jezreel Corrales, a fight he probably should have lost, right? He lost to that guy. He went from losing to that guy to becoming a champion. You see what I'm saying? So he deserves everything he's gotten. But I'm just saying he's not a marketable guy. So Bob Arum don't give a fuck whether he's got the belt or not. There's no marketing points that he's gaining with Jamel Herring keeping the belt. Actually, it's better if he gives that belt off to somebody else in Top Rank. In my opinion.
Yeah.
So,
I hear what you're saying. I'm just saying that Bob is one of those dudes, if he can have more of his guys holding belts so he can somehow manipulate a unification fight, in-house unification fight, he likes that sometimes better than having one dude holding the belt.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of his thing. That's why he likes having, like, if you look at 175, he loves that.
Well, if that's the case, then why didn't he allow Jeff Horn to keep the belt?
Oh, because shit, you got Terence Crawford.
No, that doesn't matter. You just said he likes 2 guys to hold the belt. Why didn't he allow him to keep the belt? Terence Crawford could have went on a different track.
He could have, but who was he gonna fight over at PBC? They weren't gonna let him in.
Well, yeah, that's either here nor there. I get what you're saying, but I'm attacking your point that he cares about more than 2 people holding his belts. If that's the case, he had Jeff Horn at the time. Actually, he lost Jeff Horn because Jeff Horn felt he was set up by being put in the fight with Terence Crawford. So after that, he lost Jeff Horn because of that. And Jeff Horn doesn't even want to fuck with Top Rank anymore because of that. Why would he do that if he really cared about his fighters, more fighters keeping his belts? That's what I'm saying to you.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, I just thinking that was one of them situations where, hey, man, I really don't too much give a fuck about this guy.
Yeah.
I don't too much give a fuck about this guy. Like, I only signed him because he was fighting Pacquiao.
Right.
And Pacquiao was showing his ass, so.
That's a good point. Very good point.
You know. But I do agree with you in the aspect of it is probably better to have Valdez because 130 is not like 126. Is not loaded with PBC fighters. So you could have him grab that belt at 130 and you could still make some unification match because having Oscar Valdez versus Berchelt at 130 as a champion, unifying, is better than him just fighting Berchelt without being the champion. I agree with you on that.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. in terms of what he should do next, I think he should prioritize Josh Warrington. Now, here's the deal. I don't think Josh Warrington wants a unification. I don't want to say he doesn't want it. But I do feel if Josh Warrington is not sitting there at the crib right now, he just pulled out of his bitch, right? And now he's sitting on the couch with a beer. He's like, damn.
A pint.
Right. Right, a pint. Right? And a cup of tea on the side. Yo, man, we ain't shit, bro.
Drink tea and some crumpets.
Nigga, I'm 35 years old. Nigga, I still ain't had a crumpet, nigga.
Nigga, I've only seen a crumpet on TV. That motherfucker look like a soft patty cake.
I'm telling you, bro, I don't want that shit. I'm 220 pounds, nigga. A crumpet ain't doing shit for me, bro. Nigga, as soon as I eat a crumpet, nigga, I'ma shit it out like 2 minutes later. That ain't doing nothing for me, bro.
Shit, man.
Look, man. Get back to we off track, bro. Get back to the point.
All right, my bad. Stop laughing.
I really believe, and I ain't forgot about you, Right Move. I'm about to go to the comment section right now. I really believe that Josh Warrington is sitting on the couch chilling right now, thinking, damn, man, I've done 3 hard, difficult fights, right? Selby, Frampton, Galahad, in a row, and won all 3. Barely won the last one, right? I need a break. I wouldn't be surprised if Josh Warrington comes back and fights, somebody who's ranked within the IBF, and it's not really a known fighter, one of the lower tier European guys, but just happens to be ranked in the top 15 by the IBF. I could see that, bro, because he needs that, dog. I don't ever say this about fighters unless they put in that work. Like Jared Hurd, he was a guy that needed a fight like that. That's why I didn't mind him fighting. God damn, what was his name? The guy he fought, Jason Wellborn. Jason Wellborn.
Yes, Wellborn.
I didn't have a problem with him fighting Jason Wellborn. I was like, man, he needed that. Plus, he just came off of like shoulder surgery or some shit like that. He needs that, bro. No problem with that. I have no problem Josh Warrington fighting a Jason Wellborn-like fighter at 126 next. No problem with that. And then after that, maybe take the Valdez unification. But the problem is Valdez might move up before that. You see? He's ready to go now. So he might move up before that. So Josh Warrington absolutely wants to unify. That's all he's been actually talking about. He wanted it. He wanted to be granted a pass to bypass Kid Galahad so he could get a unification. Daryl Peoples and the IBF struck again. They said, "Nah, motherfucker, we ain't give you no pass." Nigga, you know who I am.
But you guys said it was okay. I don't give a fuck what I said.
I don't give a fuck what I said, nigga. I thought you said you wanted me here at 3 o'clock. I don't give a fuck what I said, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. So now that he's satisfied the IBF's mandatory, he gets an opportunity to chill, man. He go for unification later 2020. And I think by then Oscar Valdez will already have moved up. So it's a tough situation. We'll see what happens, man. All right. Let me go to the chat, man. Y'all just said a whole bunch of shit tonight. I'm gonna start off at the end, man. Right Move. He said, "Who wins at 130? Tanks." Tanks versus
Tanks. Yeah, that's some funny shit, though.
Yeah, Tanks versus. I'm gonna start calling him that shit. Tanks versus Farmer. Who you got, Bo? Real quick. I don't want no breakdown because if the fight happens, I don't want to dilute a breakdown that comes up later, man. What do you think, though?
I think Tank wins by default because Tevin. I think that's why Tank wins.
Oh, come on, bro. That nigga, that nigga only see half a Tank. He only see Tank's right side and shit.
Hey, 2K, look, he be.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, bro. He shakes that head so he can get that eye back in place, man. I'm telling you, bro. That's why he do that shit. Man, I would have, without breaking the fight down, I would have Tank by knockout. I ain't breaking the fight down why, but later on, we'll do that shit, man. Let me go up, man. Let me go up. Somebody said something real nice. Mike Wilson. 3 Kings boxing in the house. Mike Wilson. He said, in other words. He said, in other words, and this is sensitivity. This nigga, that's fucked up, man. He's talking about your situation, which he said about that's fucked up, man. I'm trying not to laugh at that, bro. That's fucked up, man. The people don't know what that means, bro. That's an inside joke, man. In terms of you saying that he should stay at 126, he's Oscar Valdez. He said, in other words, stay a champion at 126 unified and use the fact that he is/was a unified champion at featherweight as a bargaining chip for a bigger money fight at 130. I agree 1,000%.
Very good.
He said, Mr. Jarrett Hall.
Hey, Mike, I took some for the show. I had to take some for the show. Shit, like real talk. I had to fucking drink me an energy drink for the show.
I agree 100% with what he said. That's excellent leverage. But at the end of the day, if he tries to go for Miguel Berchelt, but again, Berchelt is the WBC champion at 130. He would be the WBO IBF. I'm not sure how much leverage he would have attacking a Miguel Berchelt. WBC don't give a fuck that you're unified at 126. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to automatically put you up in their rankings and allow you to fight their champion. Remember, this is all dependent on what that organization decides to do with that fighter. So just because he's unified at 126, he didn't have the WBC belt, so they're not inclined to move him up automatically in the 130 WBC rankings. Now, if he goes after Tevin Farmer or Jamel Herring, he's got leverage. You see what I'm saying? But I don't think he has no leverage fucking with Miguel Berchelt being unified.
Okay, well, now let me attack your point.
Go ahead.
Because the WBC did that for Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury's a big name. Oscar Valdez is not.
Oh no, Ty, you motherfucker! You just gonna calmly say that.
That's an easy one.
This nigga just can't. Oh, Tyson Fury's a big name.
Nigga, that question you just asked me was like, "What's 1 + 1?" Nigga, I ain't gonna say 3, motherfucker.
That nigga calmly. Oh, Tyson Fury's a big name.
They do. Nigga, Tyson Fury didn't even need nothing. They allowed that nigga to fight Deontay Wilder for the belt. He didn't even have shit. You know
yeah.
That motherfucker fought Francisco Pianeta and Sefer Safari. That was it.
No shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Tyson Fury's a big name. I said, nigga, mother, you black, you light-skinned motherfucker. No, you didn't.
All right, man. Chris M said, does Joshua have the stamina to box and use movement for 12 rounds? And I guess that counters my point with Anthony Joshua. All he's got to do is stay on the outside, jab, jab, straight right hand for 12 rounds. What do you think about that, Bo, before I answer? Do you think he has the stamina to do it for 12 rounds?
No, I don't. I don't think he has the stamina to do it for 12 rounds. Actually, Joshua looked winded in round about the 4th or 5th round in that fight with Andy Ruiz. And he did. He looked winded in it. I don't know if it was nervous energy. He also he got winded a couple of times. Like, the thing about Joshua is that even if you go back to the Klitschko fight, right, he kind of blew his gas tank trying to knock Klitschko out. And that's when Klitschko knocked him down. And it took him a couple rounds. And a matter of fact, I think it was a shout out to Blake. Blake Whitehead made that point. He said he didn't like how long it took Joshua to get himself back after Klitschko. After he gasped, it took him too many rounds to get himself back after Klitschko. Even after being knocked down. So I don't believe he has that gas tank. Hell, even against Carlos Takam, I saw his gas tank fade a little bit. Even against Povetkin. So I don't think he has the gas tank to go 12 rounds.
What about Joseph Parker? He went 12 rounds with him.
Andy Ruiz?
No. Anthony Joshua went 12 rounds with Joseph Parker.
Well, Joseph Parker didn't push him. Joseph Parker allowed Anthony Joshua to stay in the safe space. He didn't push him until late, which is always something Joseph. I don't know why he waits till late to do it.
I'm sorry, my bad. Go. You finished?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right, I didn't give a fuck if you was done anyway. My point is, nah, I'm fucking with you. Nah, real talk. I agree with what you're saying about Joseph Parker not pushing him, but Joseph Parker didn't turn it on until at the end of the fight.
Mm-hmm.
That's when he started turning on, and that's the same thing he did against Dillian Whyte, right? Joseph Parker's a guy that's a low-volume heavyweight puncher. He waits around and shit, right? That's what he does. But Andy Ruiz is that too. Remember Andy Ruiz's fight with Joseph Parker? That shit was rather low-volume-ish, right? Now, Andy Ruiz started throwing punches because dumbass Anthony Joshua sat in the fucking pocket. Plus, his adrenaline was pumping because he dropped Anthony Joshua twice. So from the 3rd round to the 7th round, he was like, I get this motherfucker out of here. That's why he was so aggressive. On top of, like I said, Joshua sitting in the fucking pocket. If Joshua was sitting on the outside, jabbing this motherfucker as he's coming in, and just, he doesn't even have to use a lot of his weight to move, bruh. Like, he could just swiftly move laterally. His reach is that long. And Andy Ruiz's head stays on the fucking center line. Andy Ruiz ain't doing all this shit. No! That nigga's right the fuck there. You know what I'm saying? He's right there. And he has probably the worst footwork of the top heavyweights, Andy Ruiz. You know what I'm saying? He has no footwork. None. No forward, back movement. No angles. No lateral movement. No pivot.
No.
None. You know what
That's
I'm saying?
why whenever Anthony Joshua goes into retreat mode, he automatically does this.
Exactly.
Because he knows. He kind of reminds me of Lennox Lewis.
Well, I'm talking about Andy Ruiz's footwork. Not talking about Joshua.
No, Andy Ruiz. Oh, my. Dude, when he was charging Josh, he was doing this.
Yeah. He has no footwork, man. Like, Andy Ruiz's footwork is worse than Anthony Joshua's.
Yes, I agree with that.
So with Anthony Joshua sitting in the pocket, he gives the shorter guy with the shorter reach and the faster hands the opportunity to land combinations on him. But if he's standing on the outside and he's just doing a slight pivot or slight lateral movements just to stay directly out of range, he's not utilizing that much stamina by doing that. The only time you get Anthony Joshua utilize his stamina is if you put pressure on him and you're actually hitting him. You see what I'm saying? And he's trying to get himself out of trouble. That's when he's utilizing his stamina the most. Not when he's just comfortable on the outside, as we saw against Joseph Parker. That's exactly what he can do against Andy Ruiz. Don't get it twisted. And a lot of people, they read too much into the mistakes that Anthony Joshua made, that they forget that Anthony Joshua lost this fight more than Andy Ruiz won it, in my opinion.
I agree 100%.
They forget about that.
I agree 100%.
Anthony Joshua completely abandoned the game plan. Completely. And stayed in range to get hit for the duration of the fight. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that if he comes into this rematch, understands what he did and says, all right, now I know what I don't need, what I should avoid doing in order to lose the fight and allow this man to beat me like I did the first time, it's easy work. So I'm telling y'all, man, put the house on Anthony Joshua in the rematch. I am, nigga. Hey, nigga, I got the house on that motherfucker, bro. He's not losing this rematch, man. And you know, and this is everybody who's in here knows how we do shit. We ain't fans of nobody, but this is just logical thinking, man. This is just, you know, breaking down the styles and all of that. But Bo said a good thing. Mental makeup is key. We won't know, but he's got a full training camp. He's been humbled. We'll see what the fuck happens, man.
Yeah, I want to see why he's going through. Like, if he's talking like, listen, I know what I did wrong, but I'm fixing that, and that ain't gonna happen. And it's like, if he's talking confidently, cool. But if he's still talking like, it was, the first fight he caught me, and I just got confused, and it was a bad thing. But that's why I have a rematch. Now, I don't know.
Exactly.
Now that's a good point, because Ruiz is talking about some coming down in weight, and that could affect his game. I'm always leery of fighters trying to drop weight. Riddick Bowe did this against Andrew Galata. He dropped tremendous tremendous amounts of weight in the second fight and got gassed out early because he dropped too much weight too fucking soon. And he didn't let his body grow into that. And it effectively affected who he is as a fighter when he did it.
Yep.
So I'm leery about that. If he dropped way too much weight, like if he's talking 10 pounds, okay. But if he's talking 15 to 20, hell no.
Well, he weighed in at 265 for the or 268, I believe it was, for the first fight. He said he wants to get down to 250.
Nope. I don't like that. I don't like that at all, man.
Yeah.
Because that means you're gonna be spending most of training camp losing weight, and that's never good. And then as you losing weight, you have to you basically train and you basically do things that fits what your body your body frame is, right? Right. For example, right. My body frame in my head is 6'1", 175, but on scale 5'9", 232 pounds. But right.
Oh man, bro.
So my body frame at 232 is built to do certain things, right? It will never be built to dunk a basketball. It will never be built to run any faster. It's built for this is my natural body frame. If I lose 10, 15 pounds, all right, a lot of people think, well, if I lose weight, I'll be lighter. No, when you lose in weight, you have to retrain your body for that weight that you're losing. You're not just going to lose 10 pounds. Oh, I'm faster now. No, motherfucker, that's not how it works, nigga. Now you got to train your body for them 15 pounds you lost.
Right.
Oh.
Well, my thing is, if it ain't broke, don't fucking fix it, man. That's my fucking thing, bro. Like,
this nigga just keeping it so simple. Like, hey man, 1 + 1 is 2, nigga.
I'm just saying, yeah, and that's exactly what this is. It's what that shit works for this too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, man. He was at every disadvantage that you could think of. He's overweight. He's fat. He's slow in the feet. Very fast in the hands for heavyweight, but slow in the feet. You know, stomach was hanging over his fucking knees. He had just fought 6 weeks prior. You know, so he didn't really have time to prepare for Anthony Joshua. He was at every disadvantage in the book, and he won. So, you know what I'm saying? What are we doing? Why are we fucking with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to lose weight. It'll help with it to an extent. Let me say this. Sometimes it helps with stamina. Sometimes it doesn't. Depends on if you lost the weight correctly. Mm-hmm. Look at Oscar De La Hoya, for example. Look how he lost the weight coming from 160 to that catch weight of, I believe, 145 or something like that to fight, or 144 or 143, something like that to fight Manny Pacquiao. Look at how he lost weight during training camp. He did a terrible job, and the motherfucker was dead in the ring. You know what I'm saying? So if you lose the weight properly, like Tyson Fury did before he fought Deontay Wilder, if you lose it properly, then yes, it can increase your stamina, but it can be a detriment if you don't do it correctly. Yeah. But it's not going to make his footwork faster. Footwork is an art that you have to work on. It really ain't got nothing to do with weight. Shit, Tyson Fury weighed in around that same amount when he fought Deontay Wilder. At least he was heavy, right? He still had the fatness all over his belly and shit. He didn't look like the Tyson Fury that punched himself in the face with the hair. You know what I'm saying? He looked like that.
No shit, yeah, it's true.
You know what I'm saying? And he still was having... His movement was still giving Deontay Wilder problems. You see? So you can move if you're fat. Footwork is it's an art. You have to work on it. Andy Ruiz dropping weight doesn't mean that he'll all of a sudden be fucking Arislan Delor, the old Arislan Delor anyway, in the ring.
No shit, right? Yeah.
So he's still not going to have the footwork. So what are we doing here by dropping weight? What is it really doing for you? Making your hand speed faster? Possibly, but that doesn't really equate to that either. You know what I'm saying?
And it can also take away your goddamn punching power.
Yeah.
Because your body's not as strong as it was because you lost that weight.
Exactly. So to be honest with you, in this case, it doesn't really help anything. He should stay where he's at and do the same thing you did in the first fight, really. Try to lure him into a firefight because I can guarantee he's going to be on the outside trying to outbox you. Lure his ass into a firefight. What he need to work on is your head movement, your upper body movement, so you can get inside that jab. That's the fuck you need to work on. I
agree with that 100%.
So, weight is not really a big issue in my opinion. You need to work on that fucking upper body movement and that head movement. That head off the center line. I hate when niggas do that. He was like, call a nigga from the left side of his body. Hey, Rick. Huh? Nigga head like this, bro. That motherfucker don't move, bro. That motherfucker don't move. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker don't move. Telling you, bro. That nigga neck, his vertebrae made out of metal. That shit don't move, nigga.
That nigga head, his shoulders do this.
Yeah.
But his head ain't moving, nigga.
I'm about to start talking to niggas like that, bro. Hey, yo, 2K. Hey, what up, man? What's good?
Like you got a crick in your neck.
Yeah. Motherfucker got a neck brace on and shit, bro.
Oh, my God.
I'm telling you, man. That's what it head stay on the center line, bro. Shit. Oh, man. Let me go to one more comment. I'm going to go to two more, but I'm going to say this one real quick. Lodzo earlier, he said Crawford should have signed with PBC when he had the chance. I mean, who didn't see this coming? Same thing with the Cubs only cat calling out Nello, but doesn't sign with DAZN. Cubs only is Jamal Charlo.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've said that plenty of times on this show. That, I mean, Terence Crawford should have probably went with PBC. There was a guy that I talked to earlier, and he was kicking, he was dropping some gems and shit. I was listening, not listening, but I was reading his comment. But he fucked up. He said, this was towards the end of his comment too. It was a long ass comment. It was just killing the gems. I was like, yeah, nigga, yeah. Oh, that was basically what happened when I got to the end. This motherfucker said, and another thing, you see, when niggas talk too much,
that emotion started coming out. Is that what happened?
You be killing them, bro. And then you talk too fucking much. And another thing. And then that's where you fuck up. This motherfucker said, people are getting on him about signing with Top Rank, but little do they know he was already signed with Top Rank when he was with 135. And he just moved up to 147 with the same contract. No. No, sir.
No.
I was like, he signed an extension with Top Rank after he beat Jeff Horn.
Yep.
The first fight was Jose Benavidez. Of course, he didn't respond to that because these niggas be thinking they right. You know what I'm saying? But that's where he's getting scrutinized because when he re-signed the extension, or he did the extension after beating Jeff Horn, obviously he was already at 147. He's a WBO champion there. Yep. It was already seen that PBC was running this shit, bro. It was already evident PBC was running the division. So everyone's like, why didn't you just sign with PBC? Didn't do it. Felt like he was following the money. And we've said this plenty of times on this show, man. He followed the money. $3 million guarantee. And he's still living the trap. I think the nigga's still in the trap. I think he's still in the
Something
trap.
Wrong.
The nigga in the trap. He's still... That nigga is still over there with Young Jeezy in the trap. He's still over there, bro. Nigga got 3 million wads, nigga, in his pocket in the trap. You know what I'm saying?
In the trap, dog.
Hey, that's what hey, man, look, bro, that nigga in the trap.
In the trap, dog.
Bro, that nigga come outside. I'm gonna tell these niggas something about the hood, man. Tell these niggas something about the hood. You come outside, everybody in the hood is awake by 7 o'clock a.m., even the niggas with no job. Am I lying, Bo? Am I? Look.
They come outside at 7. Them niggas be up at 5:36.
I'm telling you, bro. Even the niggas with no job, 7 a.m. sharp, nigga. Like, what the fuck are you doing? I mean, they not drug dealers. A lot of these niggas not drug dealers. They're just niggas with no job, just up. Go to the corner store, bro. You be at the corner store about 7:30, 7:35, nigga. The niggas is already posted out there. Nigga, when the fuck did you get here? Yo, nigga.
They there before the owner and shit. They there before the owner.
Them niggas already posted there like they've been standing there a few hours already. Like, nigga, it's 7:30 in the morning, nigga.
Hey, listen. Hood niggas is the reason why McDonald's is 24 hours, okay?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly, bro. These motherfuckers don't sleep. That's one thing about the hood. Terence Crawford wake up. That nigga, he wake up, bro. He come on his stoop. You see the crackhead riding a bike down the street, 7 a.m. You know what I'm saying? Crackhead riding a bike down the street. And why the fuck they always got something on the back of the bike or on the front of the bike? Crackhead always got, nigga, I shit you not, boy. I'm not lying. This is not a joke. When I used to live in the trap, I remember, I'll never forget, I saw this crackhead. The motherfucker was riding down the street with a TV on the front of his on his handlebars, B. The motherfucker had a box TV on his handlebars. And he's, I don't know if y'all can, I'm trying to make it where y'all can see me. He fucking riding this shit and he holding that motherfucker like this. Yeah. While he riding. I'm looking at 7 a.m., Bo. 7 a.m. Where the fuck you get a TV from, nigga? Bro, I'm telling you, man, this shit crazy, man.
Oh, you know what else you see in the hood? You see that this for you old motherfuckers, right? We used to see niggas in the hood in that station wagon with the mattress on the top like this.
Oh yeah.
Everybody got to hold the mattress down.
Yeah. I'm telling you, bro. Yeah. My man Weed Degree said over in the UK, I've seen people riding bikes with beds on their... Yeah. Oh, dog, I'm telling you, man. This shit crazy, man. This shit crazy, man. All right, man. We're going to go to my man. I told my man Right Move I'll go back to him, man. Let me see what he said real quick. There's something that he said up in here that I wanted to read. I know he talked about Anthony Joshua and Ruiz. We already covered that. I might have been it because I don't see nothing else.
Mike Wilson, stupid dog.
What'd he say?
He said, "Let's face it, Terence Crawford, that ABC stole Tahitian treat drinking ninja. If you a hood ninja, you know about Tahitian treat, which is the liquid cracker code." So,
hey, if you a hood nigga, you right about that. If you a hood nigga, tell you something right now. Your introduction anyway to alcohol, besides, beer and shit, is Mad Dog 2020.
2020.
Mad Dog 2020. That shit was like medicine, dog.
Mad Dog 2020. Nigga have a bad cough. Yeah, drink some of that.
Drink some of that Mad Dog 20, that MD 2020, bro. That shit clear that shit right up, nigga.
Mama, we ain't got no more Vicks Vapor Rub. Drink some of that.
Yeah. Rub some of that MD 2020 on your chest. Clear that shit right up. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, that shit cure every goddamn thing, nigga. Nigga, that even shuts women up. How the fuck? I remember I was fucking with this girl, man. And I got her some Mad Dog 2020. The bitch like to talk. Talking is just yapping, nigga. I said, here you go. Get some of that right there. Clear that right up.
You know what else? I'm going to tell you something else that used to chill motherfuckers out. Cats gonna trip. If you take a bottle of Old English 800
yep.
and a bottle of St. Ives and you freeze it and you mix that in the cup and you get motherfuckers be drinking that. Yeah, nigga.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, nigga. And I told that nigga.
Them motherfuckers out for the count, bro.
Hell yeah.
Hey,
you mix Old English with some St. Ives, shit, and you feel. I'm talking about like you freeze it to where the frost around the bottle a little bit. You pour that shit, and you pour that shit in the cup, mix this nigga. Yeah, I told that motherfucker.
I'm telling you, bro, motherfuckers be out for the count, man. You right about that. Hey, that's what I did. I drank 3 bottles of MD 2020. I don't know what the fuck I was doing, bro.
What the fuck you
I
doing
was
either, man?
Stupid drunk, bro. I did exactly what you just said. Nigga, I was like, yeah, nigga, I'm fucked up. I take something home tonight. As soon as I said that, nigga said,
Yep.
nigga was gone, bro.
Man, listen, Mad Dog 2020 will have you think I'm about to break that back out. She just don't know. Go take a shower.
Nah, bro. You ain't breaking shit, bro. Listen to all you suburban niggas. I don't feel bad because I'm a suburb nigga too. I got myself and my family out the hood. Bo did the same thing. We reformed street dudes. That's what we told y'all when we first started this podcast. So when I say suburban nigga, if you never been to the hood, hey, that's a good thing, man. The hood ain't no damn. It's not a good thing. It ain't on the globe. One thing, it has good moments. Like for example, when you live in the hood and you don't have money, you learn how to improvise. You learn how to have fun, right?
Improvise.
Yeah.
Y'all see this? What do this say? Tomorrow, this is my new water jug.
Right. Like you learn how to improvise. You learn how to have fun. You create your own events and shit. Like we used to have
shit.
Right, we used to have barbecues and shit where everybody came to the crib. You know what I'm saying? And niggas is barbecuing. That shit was like a every weekend thing. When you a suburban nigga, that shit don't happen, bro. And none of that happens. No. So there's a unity when you're in the hood, but at the same time, it's a trap. That's why it's called the trap. So you don't want to stay there. You want to get the fuck out. So anybody who's never been there or wasn't raised there, that's a good thing, man. Applaud your family for, keeping you out of that. I applaud, my moms for getting us out of that and my pops for getting us out of that. I applaud them for that shit, man. That's a good thing. And, my family applauds me for getting us out of that as well. I'm sure the same things with Bo. But at the end of the day, if you're a suburban nigga, don't ever drink Mad Dog 2020. At least don't drink 2 of them. Don't do that.
No, don't drink it, period. Don't drink this shit, period. I ain't even lie. Don't drink. Mad Dog 2020 is the drink you have to be drinking earlier so that shit, so you can get immune to that shit as you get older.
Yeah. See, motherfuckers used to drink juice and that shit that came in a can. You can get it from the convenience store and Four Locos. You can get that too. That ain't got shit on Mad Dog 2020. That's like Kool-Aid compared to MD.
I'm finna say, listen, my uncle used to mix a little bit of that shit when he made Kool-Aid and Tang. He would make Kool-Aid and Tang and put a bit of Mad Dog 2020 in that shit.
Oh, hell no. That nigga trying to fuck you up, man. Oh, man. All right, man. We gonna end it right here. We gonna end it right here, man. Y'all know what to do. Go to 3kingsboxing.com for the latest and greatest of boxing news and information, as well as interviews. My man Bo has another good interview with Hannah Gabriels that will be up. I need to put these fucking interviews out. I got a bunch of interviews that are on Facebook, but they're not on the website. I will be moving them over pretty soon. But for now, go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/3kingsboxing, to check out the interviews and all the news that we got out there that is actually on the website. What's the other interview? Pep Talk. Pep Talk got Linus Udofia. Linus Udofia is he's a prospect over in the UK. What division, Bo? I can't remember. Lightweight, welterweight. I can't remember what
middleweight,
division. Featherweight. Okay.
Middleweight.
Middleweight. Right. Middleweight. Very good prospect. Check them out. You know what I'm saying? Go check them out. Good dude. Also, don't forget this podcast every Monday and Thursday. 9:30 Eastern Time, 8:30 Central, 6:30 Pacific. You know what I'm saying? Hit up Twitter at 3kingsboxing, Instagram at 3kingsboxing. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to my man Heisenberg. He put it down again in the PayPal, man. If y'all ever want to donate, y'all can donate via Super Chat, but I prefer to you to do what Heisenberg does on every show. He donates to the PayPal. The link is actually in the description that says support the stream. All right, fellas. We Degree appreciate you coming in all the way from the UK, and everybody else, my man from Haiti, everybody else from other places other than the United States. I appreciate y'all, man. But until next Monday, we out this bitch. And I'm getting ready to get rid of Bo. This is ridiculous.